everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm Kyle Bossman, the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. Joining us this week, Daniel Budworth.
Hello.
Michael Huber.
Hello.
Brandon Jones.
Hi.
And making this all happen, Ian Hink.
Hey.
Thanks for making that happen,
I'm
Ian.
not doing anything. Good job, dude.
You invited me to the Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
That was something.
I typed /Zoom in the Slack.
Yeah.
So I did technically make this call happen.
Is that
making
really
this call
it?
happen?
Yeah.
That's
That's
all.
all.
Huh.
Anyone can do it.
So for the rest of the podcast you're going to do, Kyle, that's what you do.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's how that's set up. So that you want to make a note, I can make a note.
Jones's joke there makes sense only if you know that this is my last regular podcast of the Easy Allies podcast. And audiophiles may note that there's a slight air conditioning whir under my voice. Look, I need this. I need this because my neighbors are being loud. I feel like we're all having this right now.
Yes.
A little too much of our neighbors.
Yeah.
And I need the white noise to balance it out. Otherwise, I can't think. It's just, I cannot process a thought.
Kyle, I have this, the refrigerator hum? The hum of a refrigerator?
Love it.
It used to annoy the crud out of me because it would go on and off, and then it would always go on in like a dramatic scene.
Yeah.
Now I need that hum to drown out my neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Like I yearn for the hum of the fridge.
Yeah.
Just that white
An
noise.
inconsistent hum is I at my old first apartment in LA, my roommates would turn on and off the air conditioner. It was set to temperature or something, and it would stress me out trying to get to sleep because I didn't want it to turn off, and I would like lay there in fear that it was going to end. Very weird.
It's the lives we lead. It is time for corrections. Begin corrections music, please. Dark Sector and Dark Void are actually two different games.
Dude, Dark Sector!
Yeah.
Dark Sector's the glaive, Dark Void is the verticality.
Yeah, the jetpack.
The jetpack.
Which one has like the blue cover with the guy going like to the side?
That's got to be Sector.
I think that's Sector,
Sector?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Dark Sector basically became Warframe,
Warframe, yeah, same people.
Steam Universe and all that.
Oh!
Same universe?
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know 100%, but like it's all pretty connected. There's some stuff going on there.
Because that was like the first trailer we saw from last gen. Where it was just it was some dude in a hallway in Dark Sector. We're like, whoa, finally, we see a game. And then just the gen was going and going and going. We're still checking in like, what's the Dark Sector? We own these consoles now. Is that happening? What's going on?
I feel like the camera would follow the glaive, you threw it, and it would like...
Yeah.
Then when it came back, it was this completely separate thing. Yeah, Dark Sector originally was very, very Warframe. It was very, lots of like helmets and shields and very sci-fi.
I'm glad they kept going, dude. I'm glad that game didn't ruin them.
Yeah.
Loved that game.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's,
and then Dark Void was like when Capcom was investing in all those Western studios.
That's why it came
Bionic
up.
Commando and all that, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we were talking about it. It's just that weird period of Capcom in the last generation where they're like, what do we do for Western audiences? And it's, don't worry about it, dudes. What you do is great, is what turned out to be the solution. So the DualShock controller for the PlayStation 1 is not actually the first PlayStation 1 controller with analog sticks. There was one in between called the Dual Analog controller that lasted for basically a year. And it didn't rumble. It had concave analog sticks. And it was around for basically 1 year. You had that?
I had a pre-run. Now that you say that, I remember I had a dual sticks, no rumble controller.
Yeah. I had a game that showed them. And I'm like, that's not what an analog stick looks like, you dumb game. But it was like, just for that year, it was. It was basically 97, 98. It was 97 was like debuted, but it's like different.
Wait,
across
That makes total sense because the
DualShock
N64 analog stick would have been 96 and then the Rumble Pack would have been 97, so it's just kind of
The arms
following
race.
after.
Yeah.
Did PlayStation 1 have rumble at all? I thought that was a
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation 2 introduction.
There was a
The
Resident Evil
DualShock.
DualShock version of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Director's Cut. DualShock.
Lastly, Platinum not confirmed to be working on the next Nier title. That was just something I presumed was happening.
Sure.
Nobody said
Yeah.
it's happening. End corrections music plays. Yes, this is my final regular Easy Allies podcast, but there is still one more podcast next week. The handing off of the torch, handing that to Brandon Jones, the bearded man, also on the screen. before I leave, I must decide what my last line on that podcast is going to be. And I'm using a video game last line. Basically, our patrons submit the best, most memorable last lines from video games, and then our panel decides which of these is the most memorable, and from that pool of most memorable last lines, I will pick one to be the last thing I say on the Easy Eyes podcast. We have 4 here. Here we go. You know what I'm feeling right now, by the way? I didn't realize I was nervous. This podcast makes me nervous.
Does
Do
it
you feel my
usually make
nerves?
you nervous, or does this one make you nervous?
This one, I have nervous energy on this podcast.
For
I
sure.
don't feel it, Kyle.
Okay, cool. All right,
You
nice and
are a
easy. I'm easy.
professional.
It's a bad quote. It's kind of general. It's confusing.
Yeah,
it
I was
doesn't
like,
really...
is this the quote?
Yeah, that was from Tropical Freeze.
I remember that part. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so last line. Here we go. I have made a lot of tough decisions since I took this position, but none of them harder than this one. You saved us, but you'll kill us. I'm sorry. You're a hero, and you have to leave. Anyone know that game?
That sounds familiar, actually.
It's Fallout.
Yeah.
One?
Fallout 1?
Fallout 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've played this, whatever it is.
I love that. You're a hero, you need to leave. So maybe I'll just make Jones say that to me if we pick that one. Triple 65 Forked Tongue was the person who submitted that. Thank you.
It's a good one.
Next one is from Ulf himself. Congratulations. Now you are the president of this world. I am honored to present you with the president's body. Well, I'm sure you'll be a great president.
It's a Mega Man game?
Sounds like something like that.
Probably impossible if you've never, the game is called Road Trip. It's a game I
Road
streamed.
Trip.
It's a game I streamed a couple of years ago where you're just
Okay.
a car. You're not a person inside of a car. You are the car.
Nice.
And so
And
it
then you
says,
get
here's
a
this
body at the
president's
end?
body. Yeah, you get a body of a presidential-looking car to be your new
Oh.
car body.
Oh.
I thought they killed the president
Yeah.
and then put you into his body.
No, you just beat the president in a race. It's cool.
Was the president a person driving a car or just
More
another
cars.
car?
The whole world is cars,
They're all cars.
Okay.
but no faces.
Oh, okay.
No faces, except for
Good.
the ladybug car.
Sure.
Fidgety Acolyte presents this one, which I just find fascinating. Congratulations. You successfully completed all of the stages. Enduro is a symbolic journey through life via the media of race. The results are insignificant, and what really counts is competing. Of particular importance are the lessons to be learned concerning oneself from the various encounters you experience along the way. There is no victor or loser in this test of endurance. The only thing that matters is that you have a commitment to begin the long and trying trek. This game is then decided to all of the life riders who have standed out on the solitary trip to find their own individual limits. Last but not least, may we sincerely congratulate you on a perfect run. So that
Dedicated or decided?
Life Riders? Is that what the...
the game's called Enduro Racer. It's for the Sega Master System.
Wow.
But you said decided at one point when dedicated would have made more sense?
This
that
game is then
how-
dedicated. Yep, you're right.
Okay,
Ian.
okay.
Yeah, this game is then dedicated to
But
all of the life
standard
riders.
standard is in there?
I'm sure it is. If it's
No,
Master
who have
System,
started- I
I'm
mean, I
surprised
just
it
read
sounds as
started.
good as it does.
All right,
Okay.
I should read at least that last line one more time because I messed up 2 words.
Start
Okay.
over.
The game is then dedicated to all of the life riders who have started out on the solitary trip to find their own individual limits. Imagine finishing a racing game and then it tells you all of this.
Yeah. If you got a perfect
oh.
run, or did you? Yeah, they just assume you did, or
You completed all of the stages.
Sure,
So
sure.
I guess that means you had a perfect run. Finally, come on, babes, let's rock.
I mean, that's the one.
That's pretty good.
Do you know who that is?
that's a Sonic. the Hedgehog
Probably
game for
Duke
sure.
Nukem?
Is that
There are
some,
very
like,
few characters who can get away with this.
Dante?
Yes.
It's Dante.
Yes. It's Dante. Devil May
Nice.
Cry 4. It's Dante. That came from Victor. Come on, babes.
on, babes.
Let's rock. Which one of those 4 is most memorable? The one
Dude,
from
the-
Fallout, Road Trip, Enduro Racer, or Devil May Cry 4?
I liked
in
Fallout quite a
Yeah,
bit.
I enjoyed Fallout.
Like
Selfishly,
Fallout and
is good.
DMC.
'Cause you can have-
DMC is just it's a little tighter.
The Enduro Racer one, I love it for its brevity.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't gonna win, but I've never heard of this game, and I just love this idea. You just finished this very old game. It's like, man, listen, what you just did was amazing. Like, there's more to life than this. This is just the beginning. Stay focused. It's like, okay, all right.
So that's where Dark Souls got it.
I wonder
right?
if that's
They
like
got
a
that
writer
idea.
director that had just so many big ideas for the game, and they're just they're sitting with the coder and they're like, okay, so I had this vision. Like, I can't do that. We can't with the technology. It's like, well, I just want to tell the player a lot of things. Can we do that? Like,
You're a life writer. You're a life writer. Does that
You're
come
a life
across?
writer.
Are you getting this?
The race was life
okay,
all
so
along.
they started on the. Oh, all right.
So are we going with Fallout then? You're a hero and you have to leave?
Devil May Cry is really good though.
You are. You're
But the-
Bossman.
But Hubert and Ian both like. I think it was 3D or 1 for
I'm
Fallout.
voting for Enduro Rider.
Oh no. Well then 2
Racer,
to your
whatever.
1 and 1. Hubert and I
Your
picked
arm is
Fallout.
getting so disturbing.
Listeners, you gotta realize how weird the Zoom backgrounds are. It's hard to explain, but it's
They're
like
weird.
it's we're all familiar with green screens. We all have weather people on our TV stations. But imagine if their arms just kind of disappeared all the time, in very unsettling ways. Okay. Wait. So what are we going with? Let's Rock, babes.
I'm voting for Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout.
Seems
Okay,
like Fallout
Fallout
the
wins.
most.
Okay. Let me highlight
Yeah,
that.
I'd vote Fallout after Enduro Rider or whatever the hell it's called.
But I'll never
All right.
forget it.
So yeah, if that wins, I'm gonna make Jones say it to me. You've saved us, but you'll kill us. Okay.
It's kind of true.
So good.
Is it true?
It's so good, Bossman. I've really.
A little too real. A little too real.
I love
Too real.
it.
I'll feel that one.
You have to leave.
Oh, I put this is. Oh man, I actually grabbed more than that. Oh well, that's it. That's it for best last lines.
Good bit.
What's the he's talking to that Sasquatch man and he's like, go, we don't want you here anymore.
Oh,
like,
Harry and the Hendersons.
yeah, he's hurting him to
Yeah.
help him.
Yeah. Or a Stantler from Pokemon. We don't want you around anymore.
We don't want you around anymore.
Okay, so do you all know my favorite news source?
Kotaku.
Schreier?
Yeah.
No. Let me give you a hint then. My favorite presidential candidate founded this news organization.
Bloomberg?
Yes,
Ah.
obviously. So Bloomberg had another scoop this week.
Good. Good.
I did see this. It's so weird.
Yeah, this is like their second big scoop of the year. I feel like, Jones, one of the podcasts you did in my absence was a Bloomberg headline too.
Yeah.
Their headline: Sony plans limited PlayStation 5 output in first year. So a lot of details here that somehow this Bloomberg organization has access to that we don't normally see. So kind of interesting points. They talk to people familiar with the matter. Also, I got one free article that I got to read per the month, and then I'd have to subscribe. So as long as they just keep doing one relevant article per month, we're
Right.
okay. Okay, so let me just read you some parts, and we'll respond to these individually. But here's the part where their headline comes from. I guess they thought the most important part of this story. The company, Sony, has told assembly partners it would make 5 to 6 million units of the PlayStation 5 in the fiscal year ending March 2021, according to other people involved in the machine's supply chain. When Sony released the PlayStation 4 in November 2013, it sold 7.5 million units in its first 2 quarters. So basically they're saying because of COVID-19, because of rising prices for components, they're just simply going to make fewer consoles.
So scoop them up early.
Scoop them up early, and then also they're probably going to be expensive.
Sure.
Sure. But I've
The
also
resale
heard the
value.
other way too. I hear it both ways. I hear that.
What do you hear, dude?
I think that same article or another article was saying that they still might sell the console at a loss for
Yeah.
400 or 450.
So fair, yeah. They had an analyst later on in the article say that Xbox and PlayStation will probably be fighting for the cost, right? If somebody goes low, the other one is going to have to go low. And it was earlier on, the developers are like, hey man, there's no way this is less than 500. And so it is two very different perspectives, Hubert, you're right. And it's clear that nobody knows what this costs right now.
Yeah, I feel
mean,
like they're both just staring each other down, waiting for one of them to make the move.
Yeah.
It's so intense.
It is intense.
Like, how long do you wait? It's like a game of chicken.
But on the other hand, like, they have to price this thing where it's going to be priced, you know? Because, like, if they come out the gate charging $800 because of scarcity, some people would pay it, but then everyone will just be mad, like, over the course of it. Because when scarcity goes down and they're like, okay, really, it's $4.99, everyone will be like, well, give me my $400 back.
Yeah, so
back.
do you remember when the 3DS had a price cut and then they just gave everybody who bought it free games because it was too soon? I do wonder, when is the first price cut you can make? Like, how soon after a console's launch can you make your first price cut?
The
like it's a
PS3
year, right?
was the next summer.
Yeah,
It was a year,
it's
right?
Like a year.
It wasn't a year. It was the next summer. I remember because that's when I got it, when they announced that they were.
So you're
gonna
saying
lower
like a
the
little
price.
over 6 months?
It was about, I'd say like probably, it was 6 to 8 months, somewhere in there, yeah.
Okay.
But was it tied to a holiday or something?
No, but it was just because the PS3 was selling sluggish. $600 was a meme. They
Well,
had the
yeah.
2 SKUs out there, and so they're like, look, what we're going to do is we're going to lower the price, and we're going to get rid of the PS2 stuff. And
Yeah.
like, you're getting rid of the PS2 stuff, I'm going to buy one right now, so.
Is that when you bought one?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wonder.
And it was
Because
funny
it's such
because I
a-
remember even at that point, being like, I actually think I got it at Gameplay. Like, being at Gameplay and like looking at the PS3 games, and I'm like, Resistance, I guess?
Yeah, that was a PS4 launch for me. It was like, I'll just keep playing Resogun.
Damn, Resogun's so good.
Yeah, right? What launch game do you love for the PlayStation 4?
Resogun, for sure. And now,
Yeah. Oh. You love... I mean, I played NAC. You're right. I played through the whole game. So, to me, like, the headline's funny. Limited output, when it's really a difference between 1.5 million or maybe 2.5 million. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's a lot. If they only sell 5 million in the first 2 quarters as opposed to 7.5 for PlayStation 4...
that's a lot. That's like
And is
50%.
It is.
Are those the worldwide production numbers, or is
Yeah.
that just
Yeah.
US?
That's worldwide.
Yeah. I
gonna be
mean, how do
hard.
they decide how many units to send to which countries and stuff? Like, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is worth bringing up that this is from their article as well. Sony's PlayStation chief Jim Ryan has stressed that the machine's launch should be simultaneous around the globe, according to people familiar with the company's supply chain. So yeah, they are going for global. And I actually got some corrections from last week that Xbox also intends to go global too. Nobody's doing a staggered release this time, but it's just going to mean that there are fewer consoles getting spread around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in the age of Twitch, like, staggering anything, if you can avoid it, is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, and also, like, a smaller number of units is probably going to be fine because, like, if they're being impacted by COVID, like, there aren't going to be any games on this thing, so it won't really matter.
Another fair point to bring up, and this is actually where the article ends, is that they are warning that software is moving along slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because no one's able to make it.
Like, will Last of Us 2 be out by then? Who knows? If not, it's like, I'm good with my PS4 until then.
Last of Us 2 will be out. I
Yeah,
think they're going to
Last of
find a
Us
way.
2 for sure, yeah.
That thing it's basically done.
Or like
Yeah,
Ghost of
'cause
Tsushima.
I think
is
where
like,
Last of Us 2 is at,
coming out.
probably most of that work could be done remotely, right? Like, just tunnel into your workstation and,
Bug squashing.
Yeah, but you can't do motion capture sessions, you can't do a lot of audio recording, you can't go out and, like, get reference photos. So there's some work that just, you can't just do it all sitting at a desk from home.
Do you think... Oh, sorry.
So, I guess what's happening with The Last of Us, and the comments tried to teach me this, is, and this is why Final Fantasy VII Remake had to come out early in the other countries that it did, was that just like supply chains, like being able to be shipped is a privilege right now. There aren't as many shipments happening anymore. And so I think that is a huge factor of getting this worldwide launch for The Last of Us Part 2, is just the idea of like, hey, can I get this on your boat? And they're like, no, dude, we need to ship bananas, sorry. And so I think it's like a little bit of that. And so Huber, I think they're going to find a way. That game's happening.
Either way, I feel like this whole situation has made me more patient. Where it's
sure.
like the next gen consoles are supposed to launch at the end of the year, but like I don't anticipate getting one now, really, I guess.
I kind of hear you, dude. Yeah.
Because everything, the whole world and everything has just been pushed back, so it's just kind of like, I don't even know.
Basketball's never gonna finish this basketball season.
Yeah.
Everything feels weird. You're so
it's like
right.
when if shipments are scarce or if they can't ship them or if there's problems with delays and everything, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I think that's why we won't see stuff like price, because why announce a price when you can't announce a release date for pre-orders? So, like all of that marketing and stuff has got to be slowing down. And I think I heard somewhere else this week that like Sony had already planned to show more than what they've shown by this point, but I think that might have been why Sony's talk felt so weird, is because they were probably going to have something more bombastic before then, and Sony's talk would just be the follow-up, and it's like, well, we're not doing this announcement, but you want to do your talk,
Yeah, we'll get into it. It's actually in this article as well, that very point. I want to hear Ian's take, though.
Did they actually say they're just not going to finish this season? Or did they just cancel basketball?
They're not willing to yet. It's just looking like it's not. Same with hockey. It looks like
And
those
so they would
seasons are just over.
They would just start a new season when it all
Next
comes
year.
back?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for baseball, they're talking about just playing every single game in Arizona and the surrounding facilities.
Wow.
And just staying locked down for a couple months while they just scramble to play every game.
What's safe about Arizona?
It would just be, there's like a ton of facilities there, spring training camps, so they could, if they had all the players, they could use the Diamondback Stadium and the surrounding facilities. But, I don't know. It's going to come down to a vote with the players and stuff, a players association vote.
Whoa.
Would you watch? Would you watch this sport with this empty stadium?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Kershaw was saying he didn't want to do it because he has a family, and I guess if they did it that way, they would have to be quarantined, so
course,
he couldn't
yeah.
like come home and stuff. So it's just everything. There's so many logistics that like I don't even think about with all this. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I've forgotten what the initial...
I'm sorry.
I think you're talking about when we were talking about like The Last of Us 2 getting wrapped up. We were talking about like shipments making it and just any software being launched with these new consoles.
Well, and also like I was thinking about voice acting and stuff, and it's like, are we going to hear like a little group of games coming out at the end of this year, beginning of next year, where everyone's recordings sound just slightly different because they were all using their own home studios,
Yeah.
There's so many ins and outs to all of this. I honestly think it's a weird situation because if we are, if everything hasn't cleared up by the end of this year and the new consoles are out, not only will their shipping be disturbed, but the consumer's ability to purchase these things will be disturbed as well. Like, everyone's going to have to order them online, and then that's going to cause even more weird
It's going to be
delays.
so annoying. It is going to be
It's going to be crazy. And, like, so to me, it's almost like, why put it out if there aren't going to be any games, and it's going to be super hard for everyone to get them anyway, and there are going to be a fewer number, making it hard to get them even in normal times, But on the other hand, I know that they probably budget their fiscal year to blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
So they need to get X number of whatever out there, So it's all very interesting.
It's so, on that point, it's really funny. We usually say that, like, hey, the console wars aren't real, right? Both these consoles, they're just doing their own thing. They have different business plans. But an article like this even went out of its way to call them arch rivals. And some of the people familiar with the situation, or whatever they say, said that there's no way the PlayStation 5 won't launch if the Xbox launches.
Right.
It's funny
I mean,
because
that I think is true.
I guess so. I didn't think that was true. I really thought that just like, hey, they're on their own paths. But
I think Huber's totally right. I think they're both waiting to see who says $4.99 first.
Yeah.
yeah, like
And then the other guy can go $4.89.
gotcha.
We don't.
there's
we
nothing
you
like
can give
next
each other
gen.
discs.
To get them riled up.
I guess so.
For me,
Yeah.
I think it's an uneasy or like a friendly alliance here because I'm looking at this potential drought and scarcity of the consoles, And it's like, man, if I can't track down a PS5, maybe I could track down an Xbox, or vice versa. Like, people who are just looking to get a next-gen console can't get one, so they end up getting the other.
And you think they would like for that to happen?
No, I'm just saying,
No.
like, I don't see console wars. I see the video game industry and good vibes of it.
The thing
I'm telling you that's not
interesting.
true. Go ahead, Ian.
The thing that's interesting to me, if I'm Sony, and like they said, like Bloodworth said, like maybe they had games to show at the Cerny talk, but those aren't in a space that they can be shown, I would be quaking in my boots, because if Xbox Series X comes out the gate with Halo Infinite ready in the box, whatever to buy, and we don't have a game, like we don't have a killer app, like you're going to lose that launch. If it is a war, they're going to lose if they don't have a big time game, if they're all delayed, you know?
Yeah.
But it's, you know, they can't delay the console because then they're going to look like the second fiddle anyway. So it's like they're kind of hosed maybe.
So Huber, when you say that, do you mean from their
Me
corporate
personally.
perspective, or your?
No, me
I get it. I get it.
personally.
I get it.
Like, no wars, no console wars.
Yeah.
Like, they're both just trying to launch their systems, you know?
Exactly. You don't
And,
want
like-
to see it. You don't want to see it be like this. Almost.
Yeah, I don't want to see, like, clickbait. I don't want to see, like, pitchforks and this and that. I just... I don't know.
But it makes
Like,
you wonder what the biggest priority at Sony is. Like, is it to make the most money in 2020? Is it to have the biggest launch? Is it to have like the just get through it? It was like, let's just get this out, and then if we sell more in 2021, fine. But we have to launch it. Or if it's like, no, that launch has got to be big, and so we can bail on the launch at any moment if we get a sense that like this isn't going to break record numbers. Or if it's just like, we got to beat Microsoft, or like, what is number one, you know? Because I wonder why this article came out now. That's the other thing that's funny, is none of this seems like, so something went down this week, you know, that's kind of led to all of this. This just is like a report on, here's what, you know, the temperature in everybody's office buildings, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's because they've been delaying meetings, Jones. The meeting that they would have had to determine like launch day and price has been delayed.
Wow.
Because of COVID-19, because everybody's from home.
Yeah.
And that manufacturing apparently is going to begin in June. Like this is rolling. So it's all coming along. I want to hit the sentence we've, at least the paragraph that we've been talking about or referring to, and it just starts with this matter-of-factual statement that I think we've been suspecting, but it's just right here. The virus has already upended Sony's promotional plans. The company may forego hosting a public press event conference for its PlayStation 5 release date and price unveiling due to infection fears. Recently, it was forced to reveal its DualSense PS5 controller in a hurried fashion, according to people informed on the matter. While only a small circle within Sony are privy to the appearance of the PS5 console, the controller has been shared with outside developers, and the company feared it couldn't control leaks, they said. We probably would have had that event by now. I think what you can infer from that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, which that makes me think probably it would have happened in March,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, late February, early March.
Yeah.
Because, too, I think, you know, as we saw with them bailing out of PAX East, being, you know, kind of one of the first people to do that, like, I think that was kind of the indicator where, you know, they were probably planning to do big things around that time period.
It's weird though. I hesitate to agree with that for the reason that Sony the last year and a half has kind of seemed to be eager to pull out of things. Like they've seemed to be eager to have a reason not to show up and share information.
E3 certainly. They seemed happy to
E3.
leave E3. Yeah.
Yeah, they were thrilled.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I don't know why. I don't have a guess, but that's the vibe I've gotten, is like they're rearing to, they're like me having been invited to a party, just looking for any reason not to go. You know?
Use me as an excuse anytime you want to, Ian.
Huber, he
I gotta hang out with
shattered his
Huber.
knees. I gotta.
He needs me to feed him. Jonesy. So you had a presentation planned. You had a whole reveal planned. You had the script written. You had the PowerPoint presentations ready. You had the trailers ready. You had the presenters ready. You had the PlayStation 5 reveal all sorted. It's not happening. What do you do with all that? What do you do?
Well, that's why what we were saying earlier. It's like, you know, they're looking at each other to who's going to say 500 first, and I think they seem like they're able to wait for a really long time. Like it sounds like everything, especially just considering how February and March went with everyone, how things were canceled almost seemingly like at the last minute that they could be canceled. You know, it almost seems kind of like the bigger the properties, the longer that they took, whether it was sports or entertainment or whatever. So I can't see any sort of like specific roadmap right now that they are like confident in doing. I think there's a lot of if-thens with their, you know, just taking it, you know, every day at a time.
Well,
And I wonder if the it's interesting because that's the thing that fascinates me about this article. They're like, all of them are talking about that. I'm like, how wide are these conversations? Like, how much does Sony really want to get out there? That
is it the small circle?
Yeah,
you know, I love the idea of a small circle who knows what the console looks like.
Like, is it going to get to the point where we're going to be hearing way more? Because I think that's like the thing that feels so different for me, other than obviously the world changing, but like that I'm hearing from Wired, I'm hearing from Kotaku, I'm hearing from Bloomberg way more than I'm hearing from Sony. You know, like I'm hearing like a ton about like what may be going on or what should be going on.
They showed you the controller 2 weeks ago. What do you want?
Right.
That was 2 weeks ago.
It felt rushed. It
did, didn't it?
Yeah, it just seems, you know, that little tiny decision seems like you know, all they're really willing to do right now. It's like we can't do all of those things all at once because you can't, you know, redo that first impression. And so I think they're holding off as late as they possibly can.
I wonder if the other angle is it's not that they have a roadmap or a plan or even had a date in mind, but now they're just waiting to see like when they can do it.
Right.
Because they might not even know. They don't know how much maybe it'll cost them or when they can even do it. Like, who knows?
You know, Ian, you were mentioning launch titles like Halo earlier, and it made me think like if the console is launching at the same time, but every game is delayed, how does that impact the launch lineup?
Right.
Like, specifically. So it's like I wonder if
Resogun 2, baby.
Will Call of Duty be available at launch? Will Call of Duty make it?
I feel like Warzone at least.
Right.
Well,
I'm talking the brand new Call of Duty.
Oof.
Crackdown 3 can just program Call of Duty games on its own now. So, you know, that one's taken care of.
Yeah.
It just
I
churns
wonder,
them out.
Right? That's our biggest yearly release.
And then you like a conspiracy theory, right, Bossman?
What's on? What's on?
You like conspiracy theories?
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, if they say that the hardware is limited PlayStations or
only
whatever,
5 million, yeah.
only 5 million. What if they're tempering expectations because they have no launch lineup, so they know their launch is going to be lackluster, so now they're getting the narrative already out there, like, oh, not that many PlayStations, keep it chill, keep your expectations in check. I was
They're
like
creating the scarcity narrative, yeah.
I just
Like that, yeah,
conspiracy
it's a
theory.
terrible thing to say, but it's like it's work. That's why, again, I think why they're, you know, just waiting every single day is because you can make the situation work for you and against you. It can work for you if you wrap up the year and just like people are like, oh yeah, it didn't sell as many or didn't make as many, and they're like, we did the best we possibly could. Trust us, you know. Like there's no way you can understand all of the hoops that we had to jump through, whether you're Microsoft or Sony. But I think what you can get burnt on, and what we're very well versed in, is setting a date and then you don't meet that. And so it's I think if they do some sort of live event, it'll be, you know, if they want anyone to show up to it, they'll get invitations like the day before and be like, wait, what is that?
I can say I don't think they should do a silent live event again. I don't think they should have somebody at a lectern with silhouettes in front of them pretending to do a presentation for 3 people. It should be, if they're going to do one, it should be very, very different from that.
It should be a direct.
Yeah.
Like, do a state of play, but put, you know,
State of
60%
Gen.
more effort into it.
It's got to be so much more effort. It has to feel so huge, and state of plays don't feel huge by nature, by their design.
Yeah, they're meant to be, Yeah, so I mean, do a state of play with 600 times more effort, you know.
Yeah.
Or don't call it state of play, first of all. Call it, I mean, they always have such bombastic names for underwhelming things.
Well,
right?
I mean,
like,
and the big ones are called
tomorrow.
PlayStation meetings is what they used to be called. Just a PlayStation
Right.
meeting.
Right.
The
That's what
road
the
to
last one should have been
tomorrow.
called.
Yeah.
Wasn't it called The Road to PS5?
Yeah,
I want,
the
I
GDC
want
thing.
when the PS5 boots up to say, "You are now on the road to tomorrow."
Welcome to the world of
Tomorrow. Yeah,
the
it's
thing
just
is,
a GIF.
we're going to
from
love it.
Futurama. Oh yeah,
We're going to be nostalgic for that 20 years later. Like, man, remember when the PS5 booted up?
PS5 said that thing.
That was so cool.
Everyone made fun of it at the time, but I kind of liked it.
Jonesy, I got a headline for you.
Hit me.
Straight from Kotaku.com.
Huh?
Mother Bird, Jason Schreier, published this article. Who, by the way, just today said he's leaving Kotaku.
Yeah, going to another. I didn't read the article. He's going to
different
another
outlet.
Outlet, yeah.
Yeah. So is he just making his own called Blood, Sweat, and Pixels or whatever?
No, I think he's going big time.
Polygon?
At last.
So anyway, published an article 18 months after Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar has made big cultural changes. Now, this is a funny
right.
article.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is a funny article because it's definitely from Schreier's perspective, who cares a lot about developers' rights and conditions. It's mostly about that. It's about how contractors for Rockstar have been hired on full-time, in Lincoln in particular. I'm not sure if everywhere. Testers' pay has increased. Altogether, bad eggs from management have been removed. And generally just less pressure to work overtime has changed.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
It's freaky. Jones, it's the freakiest
in their
part.
chairs. Whoa!
It's a quote from a current or former Rockstar employee who says, like, hey, there's still some bad eggs left, but their days are numbered. It's like, what is going on in there?
Wow.
They're
Is
cleaning
this
house.
why? Is this why Big Brother whatever left? Do you think?
Yeah.
'Cause
Dan
the-
Houser.
Dan
It's kind of implied that just culturally his work ethic was just not
It was a bad egg.
working well with the rest of the teams.
People got tired of his attitude or something, and
Wait, but wasn't he like already on hiatus for like a year or something before that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a sabbatical, which I think was his own decision.
He just
but
took
yeah,
off after Red Dead, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of suggested that they're happy that he's not involved to make last minute changes and stuff anymore in the article as well. But here's the part that got picked up. Here's what IGN sees as like, oh, there's your headline right there, baby. Okay, this excerpt right here. One plan that management has laid out for the next game, a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series, is to start out with a moderately sized release, which by Rockstar standards would still be a large game, that is then expanded with regular updates over time, which may help mitigate stress and crunch. So hey, the next GTA, in early development right now, may launch as just a smaller thing.
Like Final Fantasy.
like GTA 5 Online.
Yeah. Right, like just do it again.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean, they're just
smaller
going to
than
do
GTA.
that with the story mode. Yeah.
Oh, you think that? I know. Yeah, it's hard for me to interpret what that means, but it does mean that their next game won't be as huge as GTA 5. It won't launch like GTA 5 did, or Red Dead Redemption 2 did.
Well, I mean, I think that they could do. Well, this could backfire and cause more crunch, I guess. But like, they'll do a Fortnite model or a GTA 5 Online, but with like, it would be baked into the nature of the game, maybe. Whereas GTA 6 isn't a story with A to B, like start finish. It's a world that you inhabit, and story stuff is just continually added every week, 2 weeks, whatever.
Right.
And like the story unfolds, but it's like there would be multiple simultaneous things probably happening, like KK Slider concerts or whatever. You know, it's like Muse is playing at the pavilion and you go and watch it in game or whatever.
Muse is a
And
great
story
pick.
crap, you know.
Yeah.
Or like the Hitman episode. Like, even
Right,
though,
right,
like,
yeah,
it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
necessarily. It didn't necessarily work for them, but I think GTA is another story, right? GTA breaks all the rules.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
why you don't call it. I think that calling things episodic carries like a certain kind of mentality with it. This, they're going to say it's like, I mean, in this imagined reality, they would say like it's a living world, you know, and like things evolve and change and happen and the story is always going, you know. And I mean, I think necessarily the out the gate, you know, you'd have to have 10 hours of content at least, probably, like of narrative stuff to springboard from.
Yeah, Jones, how much of a single player campaign does a Grand Theft Auto game need?
On an hourly basis? Well, it depends on what do you mean by need. Are we talking sales? Or are we talking review numbers? Like,
Ooh, tell me about review numbers.
you know, you need a dense campaign. You need interesting, you know, characters. Like, I didn't think the villains and parts of the story were that interesting in GTA 5. It was the just having those three guys, you know, and the fact that they all inhabited that world together. That's what made that so fascinating. Switching between them, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm with a guy and he's driving. I'm like, oh, I'm in the middle of a mission. Like,
I'm telling you, you're getting less than that in the sequel.
oh, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, I imagine internally they're like, we just need a map right now. Like, we literally just need a surface area with some walls, maybe, so people can, like, you know, duck behind them and then shoot at other people. Maybe some race tracks, and then we'll add interiors later. We'll add story later. We'll add all of that stuff, because I think truthfully, like, that company had planned for it, but was really just blindsided by how much GTA 5 continued to make. They were like, whoa, this changes everything in terms of really what we should be focusing on. And so if they're like, if this is so many years later and we're still kind of doing the same output of new stuff that we do with GTA 5, like, why not just start this with 6 and just do that? You know, we need to basically, we skipped a gen. We got to get a map out on these consoles when they come out.
I think they probably learned that same lesson from the other side with Red Dead 2, because I think that they just expected to have every goatee in the bag with that game, and then they didn't from a lot of outlets. And I think that they were, like, surprised by that. Like, the impression I had is, like, they were like, what happened? You know, like, what happened? And so maybe, they're thinking, like, some kind of hybrid of GTA 5 story and online. Maybe it's like an always online. Yeah. I don't know.
I definitely see some changes. You know, it's an anxious time as a GTA fan, because I feel like with Red Dead, for instance, the amount of time and money and work that went into that game, and it's like a divisive game. I don't think it's a bad game, but I think it's divisive, and it's such a particular taste. But, like, the hundreds of millions have already been spent. So if you commit less and you can change your game more on the fly, I definitely see them doing that. Absolutely. Like a live service type thing, honestly, yeah.
Yeah. And Fortnite, I think, really shows that there's an audience for that, and obviously the ongoing success of GTA 5 online. It's like, why wouldn't they just, you know? I mean, like, I don't think they're gonna pull a whatever Call of Duty that was and just do multiplayer, but some kind of hybrid of the two for sure. Like story updates and stuff, like living world kind of stuff, for sure.
What I find interesting is I feel like we've been talking about the next GTA plan, what they should be doing for a while, and it's kind of along these lines. What I find really interesting is the angle that they're doing this to keep employees more relaxed. Is actually it's for the benefit of the developers more so than the benefit of their balance sheet. Do you believe that this is a practical model for developers, that like something like this would actually be easier for the people who are making games?
I mean, it can kind of go both ways, right? Like, if you have a good plan and like a good pace of content, and you have an idea, you know, and maybe that's part of, you know, the structure of developing this, and like seeing, okay, well, how much can we get done if we're not, you know, going to have this crunch period, and like, let's figure out what our pace is, and then be able to build off of that. And so, like, if they figure out what their pace is, and like, okay, well, once we get to, you know, X point on the timeline, then we'll set a release date, and then we'll know that we can, like, you know, bring out the rest of this content on a set schedule. The problem with that is if you get into a situation where you're behind and you've set this schedule and people expect content, then you're just eternally on crunch.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's
seriously,
the thing.
if the game never ends.
That's Fortnite, man.
It makes it's Fortnite. It's eternal crunch.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that I think is funny about the video games industry specifically, with crunch and stuff like that. And you know, I'm not a game developer. I'm not a publishing company, so this is coming from a place of somewhat ignorance on every, you know, cog in this machine. But like, it's really interesting to me, and I think there are a few companies in the world who can do this kind of thing. Like, I mean, Star Citizen, they're like eternally just in production mode, right? But I mean, like CD Projekt Red or or Rockstar certainly, like, why not just be like, everybody works 8 hours a day, we just do that, and then, yeah, like Blood said, when the game is done, we put it out. Because it's like, yeah, like Brandon said, they skipped a generation and they're still making more money than everyone.
Yeah.
Like, almost. They're like in the top 10 regularly. And it's like, you're Rockstar, why don't you just change it so that you know, you don't have to play by these rules.
I'm with you with the, like, I don't know what even the hell I'm talking about, Ian, but I just remember being like young and starting out, and just that like unsaid pressure of working extra, of working late, of staying late. It's not required, but like everyone's quietly judging. So it's like, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying is make a culture where it's like, go home.
They're trying.
Like, work 8 hours, you're done,
actually.
Go home.
Yeah.
Or like hire. I mean, this is maybe naive, but just like hire a night crew, like 8 hour day crew, 8 hour night crew. Then you always have people working always on this game, so you're always in crunch, but everyone gets to work 8 hour days, you know, like.
Rockstar Nights.
Yeah,
Rockstar. I want to be on that night team.
And
they work on the strip clubs.
Yeah, and I get bummed, you know, because I know there's a lot of people that are like, "This is the downfall of Rockstar. This is, you know, they're just games as a service now, and we're gonna like, we're
Who's saying this?
I just see a lot of people because they're frustrated. Oh, well, Hubert you were mad that you didn't get.
I'm nervous
that you didn't get Ballad of Gay Tony for GTA 5, basically.
Yeah,
but, like
no story DLC. Yeah,
and it's like.
It was all online.
5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 are like some of the like densest games I've ever played in my entire life, where you're going through a game world and just seeing just experiences you will never have just fly past you on a regular basis, just radio stations you're not listening to and the cutscenes you're missing and all. And it's like I don't know, like I feel bad, that I wish a good thing could go on forever, but at the same time, these are the biggest games anybody makes. And so the physically, like, just all the stuff that they cram into it. And so it's like, I don't know if I would be, like, upset if I, like, popped open GTA and then, like, 20 minutes later, or 20 hours later, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll check out the next thing in 2 years, and maybe I'll play a little bit online. That's neat. I'm not like, I need 20 more hours, you know? Like,
Jones, because they haven't nailed it yet, but the idea of Hitman, the idea of putting the story on pause for a bit and then jumping back in is so exciting for a GTA game. Like, imagine if it's like, yo, the villain got away, but, you know, they'll be back. And then, like, 4 months later or something, new season, the villain's back. And it's like, dude, the things they could do.
I mean, the thing that you mentioning Ballad of Gay Tony made me think about is like these games have huge casts. Like either you could do it like a Rashomon kind of thing where like you like the first campaign is this person's story, the next campaign is this person's story, or you just take like a tactic of just like, here's something going on in this city, like here's a cool tight 8 hour story you get one every 3 months of like, here's Sally who works as a grocery store clerk and she's forced to rob a bank for this guy. And like, here's this other completely unrelated person, you know, and then maybe there's like an overarching meta narrative that comes together over time or something. That could be really neat, like city stories.
Watch Dogs Legion in the other direction.
Right. yeah.
Going out in.
Going out,
Or potentially like Animal Crossing, you have things happen like when the new content comes up, it's aware 3 months have passed. Like that's we wrote it that way, you know.
Yeah, dude. What if what if GTA 6 takes place in real time?
Sure.
The newest season of Division 2 is trying to kind of do something like that, where you wrap up the expansion campaign, and then in the coming weeks you have to dismantle like his crew that he left behind. And it is all time-based, real-time. Like, if you miss one, like, they're gone, they're dead in the in-game universe. Like, but you missed it.
Cool.
So,
Blood, what were you saying?
Yeah, but Kyle, remember last fall when, like, Animal Crossing was delayed? And they were like, we're doing this so that, like, our workers don't have to, like, go through crunch and all that. And then their stock, like, dipped. And now, like, Animal Crossing is the biggest thing. You see all these new, like, people all over the place, like, sharing Animal Crossing screenshots and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the thing with markets too, is like the trends are all fear-based anyway, so it's like to a certain extent, you can ignore those knee-jerk kind of things, you know, because they're just like knee-jerk reactions, and it balanced back out, and now I don't know if they're up or anything, but like Animal Crossing, I saw an article the other day that said Animal Crossing is the defining success of the Corona era or whatever, and it's just like, yeah, everybody's playing that little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
and
pays
Ubisoft
off.
has done a lot of similar things too, where they're like,
Yeah.
hey, our games aren't doing too good. We're gonna push everything back and figure them out, make them good.
It's nice. It's
I
encouraging.
hugely respect going back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Like, I think that it's a necessary thing for a lot of companies.
I do want to note that at the end of this article, the people speaking to Schreier, and also his own opinion at the end of the article, is that, like, hey, this is working now. They haven't gotten to crunch period of this game. We don't know if they're going to stick to this policy throughout the entire development of the game.
Got it.
They're doing great right now, but we'll see. And I appreciated that kind of perspective.
I bet they don't.
Yeah, right. It's that was kind of the note it ended on. It's like, okay,
It's like they're not really going to stick
we'll
with it.
see. Do you all hear that?
Oh,
It sounds like it's my neighbors.
Gotcha.
It sounds like his podcast.
It is pocket.
Halftime.
It is. That's right. Okay, so we all know how ExpressVPN protects your privacy and security online, right? But there's something you might not know if you haven't been listening to this podcast. You can also use ExpressVPN to unlock movies and shows that are only available in other countries. Now that so many of us are stuck at home, it's only a matter of time until we run out of stuff to watch on Netflix. So what do? We use ExpressVPN to binge stuff like Doctor Who on UK Netflix. It's simple to do. You fire up ExpressVPN, the app, you change your location to the UK, refresh Netflix, and that's it. See, ExpressVPN hides your IP address and lets you control where you want sites to think you're located. You can choose for almost 100 different countries. So think about all the Netflix libraries you can go through. Love anime? Use ExpressVPN to access Japanese Netflix and be spirited away. But it's not just Netflix. ExpressVPN works with any streaming service, Hulu, BBC iPlayer, YouTube, you name it. There are hundreds of VPNs out there, but the reason we use ExpressVPN to watch shows is it's ridiculously fast. There's never any buffering or lag, and you can stream in HD no problem. ExpressVPN is also compatible with all your devices, phones, media consoles, smart TVs, and more, so you can watch what you want on a personal device or on the big screen, wherever you are. I have been watching on my computer monitor, but you've been watching on your phone. You got that set up on your phone. And it works! If you visit our special link right now at expressvpn.com/allies, you can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Support the show, watch what you want, protect yourself with ExpressVPN at expressvpn.com/allies. And if you're a patron of Easy Allies, thank you.
I got a couple more headlines I want to get to before Love and Respect. Firstly, a press release came out from Riot this week. Riot Games acquires Hypixel Studios. And look, normally, I gotta be honest with you, I'm gonna overlook that headline. I don't care. I don't know what that means. I'm not interested. However, sometimes I will ask our community during a stream, like, hey, what do I gotta talk about on the podcast this week? Somebody brought this up, and it is more interesting than I thought it was. So, Hypixel Studios. They started off as two people who made a Minecraft server where they
I knew it.
Did you know this?
I'm sorry to jump ahead,
Please.
but from the trailer that you made us watch, I was going to say my guess, if we did not know, is that this started as a Minecraft server. They put a bunch of mini games on it, like Yogg's Cast or whatever it's called, Yogg's, whatever. And they just then decided, we could just make our own game with all this stuff.
That is
So that's exactly what happened.
It. Yes.
Aha!
Insanely popular Minecraft server where they would make their custom maps and things.
That's what it looked like.
And, so they're developing this game, currently in beta. There was 55 million views on that video, on that trailer.
Wow. And what was the name of it again?
Hytale.
Looked awesome.
Hypixel Studios making the game Hytale.
With a Y.
With a Y. It is
Not like hightail it out of here, but...
No, it is... I'm not sure what that HY stands
Like
for, to be honest.
Hylian.
Like Hylian.
I mean,
yeah, dude. Fantasy vibes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So-
probably derived from whatever their modder name was or something.
Sure. I don't think, I'm realizing now, I don't think I know how much they bought them for. I don't think that's part of the press release, unfortunately. But I assume this is a big deal. Riot is, we've been talking about Riot a lot. From when they announced, their 4 or 5 new games, and Valorant obviously is huge right now, on Twitch at least. I don't think it's publicly available yet.
You have to get into the beta still.
Right.
Got it.
And so there's just like 200,000 people watching it on Twitch every day. Because you get points or
Dude,
something?
the other day it was 1 million viewers, Kyle, at once.
Stop that.
Wow.
When I looked at it the other day, a couple days ago, it was over 1 million live viewers at the same time.
For a game that barely exists right now.
Well, I'm gonna check on. I'm checking on it right now.
I mean, that kind of plays into it, though, right? Like, if
Sure.
you can't play it, then you're just gonna watch somebody play it.
Yeah.
Well, and also, Valor. How do you spell this? Damn.
Valorant.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. I think that part of how you get it is by engaging with it on Twitch.
That is pure evil.
Genius. I have to log in to make sure that that's accurate. I don't want to be inaccurate, but there's
That's how they get you.
something like that where it says check your status here, and you have to connect your Riot account with Twitch, watch Valorant streams,
Oh boy.
and then if you do enough of that, once you've linked your accounts, watch any Valorant streams with the drops enabled tag by clicking the button above, starting
Drops.
on
Dude,
April
I
7th.
I've
While
seen,
logged in
I've
on
seen
Twitch
drops. I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
for an opportunity to get access to the closed beta. So they're
Somebody was a Game
artificially
Trailers fan.
they're artificially inflating their Twitch numbers by saying you get the game by watching it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I mean, to me is smart.
Yeah.
Smart over my
Oh, it's
viewers.
evil genius. Yeah. So
really
it's
smart.
It's 9:15 p.m. on a Thursday night currently. Valorant has 506,000 viewers on Twitch.
It's insane.
Wow.
Very, very clever.
that,
And there's like
like-
a little treasure chest icon. Apparently, if I watch Fortnite, I'm getting stuff too.
Like, Kyle, when I saw that, it went from a game not on my radar to immediately, well, this is one of the top 5 most important games right now.
You got the FOMO.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep.
But
I'm like, this game is important.
The game
They've
looks
made
solid.
it important by having so many viewers. Like, it is a thing now that cannot be ignored.
yeah. And I wonder, Huber, if in 2 or 3 years, Riot is a thing that can't be ignored. Right? They have one huge hit right now. I think they're going to have 3 or 4 in 3 or 4 years.
I was gonna say they have been a thing you shouldn't be
you-
ignoring.
Yeah,
for
you're the one ignoring it,
5
Kyle.
years.
Yeah, I guess
got your
I
head in
mean
the sand.
I guess I mean as a publisher superpower, right? They're buying studios now.
True, they're a one I don't want to say one-trick pony, they're a one-thing product, but if they
Right, sure.
expand into
Well, and-
Valorant and, Hytale, yeah,
Yeah.
Well, and
absolutely.
Valorant is it their only game that isn't taking place in the
Yeah.
Runeterra? It's
Yeah.
their only one, right?
At least
and
from
they've
those
got
4
those,
that they announced. Yeah.
and they've got that side studio. What is it called? Like, whatever, Riot Studios or Riot something that they like are shepherding smaller studios within
Right.
themselves to make like that dungeon crawler and stuff.
Mhm.
There are like a few more of those, right? That they showed at
A couple
an
of those,
event
yeah.
later, yeah, and yeah. So it's interesting that this Hytale thing is another one that isn't taking place in Runeterra, and it's another little shepherding that they're doing.
I mean, and should be worth noting, Hytale looks like Minecraft. It looks like a
Oh,
better
yeah.
version of Minecraft. Like the faces simply look better. The environments look better. It's almost like an 8-bit to 16-bit climb, but not quite that. And yeah, it just seems more like story oriented. Well, I mean, it is. That is the appeal of Hytale.
Is
Though
it?
it also has its own tools and things.
Is
yeah.
there-
Yeah,
a
I mean,
story?
from the trailer, there's like so many more enemies and stuff, and like environments, like the undersea area and all of it. Yeah, it just felt like Minecraft, but with more going on, basically.
More stuff. But
Yeah.
like, I didn't get the specific impression because I only watched the trailer. If
Oh,
it
yeah,
had
absolutely.
a story or anything from the trailer, and then at the end when it was like, you can make movies in it, you can do this and that. I'm like, oh, this is a big ass Minecraft mod. I mean,
Yeah.
that we used 6 similar mods to make seedlings back in the day. You know, like Seuss shaders and like all this stuff and the camera mods and all kinds of stuff like that.
The interior actually reminded me of Seedlings.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
like watching it, I was getting like flashbacks. I was like, ugh.
Well, what if it was all one mod? What if you could just hop in there and like all
Right.
that work is there for you?
Right.
Ian, the way they describe it is a community-powered block game that combines the scope of a creative sandbox with the depth of a role-playing game.
Right, so that it's all going to be modded content that's the community is putting into the. That was the impression I had at the very end when it was like endless content or whatever it said, and I was like, oh, okay, so it doesn't come out of the box with any story or anything, but everyone's going to make stories.
I mean, it's in beta right now. Yeah,
It's like Minecraft Dreams.
But when it launches, there will be quests for you to undertake for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird because I feel like I've seen this maybe a dozen times. I mean, like Ian called it right out. So it's just interesting to think about, like, what is exactly the hook that makes this the one that people are like super excited about?
Exactly. Why are 55 million people loving this trailer?
Because the mod was super popular, I imagine.
Yeah,
Sure.
I guess so. I wonder the same. I honestly wonder the same with Valorant, and Valorant to me is clearly just marketed very well. And we talked about it. It's also, no, I don't want to just say just marketing, because we talked about how important their online connection was to that game's development as well. So it's also made for the people who will care about it the most. And so maybe this is the same kind of thing. The people who love the stuff about Minecraft, they see that in this game, and that is what they're laser focused on for this title.
With my Seedlings experience, like we gave a talk at the YouTube space years ago for a bunch of kids and their parents.
They're all millionaires now.
Well, those kids were all geniuses. Like we were showing how we did this one episode where we had to like spawn horses and stuff. This kid comes up afterwards and just tells us like, "Oh, you can do this, this, and this," and we were like, "Really? That would have saved us like an hour and a half every day." Like, and like that kid was probably 8, 10 maybe. I can't tell how old kids are, but like, yeah, young, you know. And these kids are all just programmers, basically, and they learned it all because of Minecraft. And so I could easily see that, given the time that's elapsed from then to now, Hytale being something that would be really popular with people like that. Like, now they're a little older, they want to have a little control on it, make a little more impact on it.
Yeah, it's not the stuff you see in Minecraft trailers.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of like, everybody together, you can play with your daughter, and it's like that kind of angle on it, right? Obviously that's still there, it's still present in Minecraft, but this seems like focused on this one element of Minecraft that people adore.
And we still have every couple of days we have someone message like, oh, put your server back up for Seedlings, like, and we had mini games and stuff on there, and like there were people, fans of the show, that would try to remake parts of the episode, you know, like in game themselves and stuff. Like, people love doing that stuff, and I think it's amazing, like really cool that this game is building in all those machinima tools just right out of the gate. Like, that's smart, because if this game picks up, there will be, you know, many little videos made in it and stuff. It's cool.
All right, panel, tell me then, is this game a locked-in success already, or is it a tough market? Give me one of those two things.
Success.
Locked-in success.
Yeah.
I think it's
probably a success. I don't know if it's like a gigantic, but I think it's definitely got momentum.
Because it doesn't seem like something that's necessarily, not to take any sort of creative juice away from the stuff that they've been working on and the ways that it has improved over Minecraft, but it doesn't necessarily seem about like the ideas that they're putting into place. It seems like they have an army, you know, like that these people are like, we just have a lot of bodies, we have a lot of people we're connected to, and that's what Riot's, you know, paying into. Not like, finally somebody who did a cool mod in Minecraft. It's like, oh, okay, you're about to. This might not necessarily have a big launch because only you will know, only your community will know that this happened. But they're like, we could maybe do something even more with this if we kind of splat, you know. And it's funny. I wonder if you watching the trailer and watching some other videos about Hytale, I saw a lot of people talking about, they're like, this is just their own fun thing. This is the way they wanted to. They're making a game that they wanted to play. Not necessarily they weren't making Minecraft 2. They weren't making a Minecraft Killer. They don't want, you know, no bad vibes with Microsoft, no bad vibes with Mojang. They just wanted to make their own thing. And I could just see Riot coming in and being like, bad vibes. You know, like, let the bad vibes begin.
Blow them out of the water,
you know, like the fine print in the contract is just like, no, we are going after these people. We're going to be like, hey, look at that, look, Riot, we own a game that's way better than Minecraft.
So they're targeting a 2021 launch. I can easily, I mean, they're just going to play the same card again, right? We're going to see 500,000 people streaming this on Twitch and people trying to get into beta codes with their little viewing hours.
Well, that's why I was wondering if there's a beta right now. Is it already on Twitch?
It's not open beta. So there were like gameplay videos on YouTube, but I don't think we can watch this on Twitch right now. I can triple check on that. The other headline I wanted to talk about briefly, and it comes as no surprise, but is official. Gamescom has officially tweeted this week that not all details are known at present. The nationwide ban on major events until the end of August will also affect the planning for Gamescom 2020. Furthermore, Gamescom 2020 will definitely take place digitally. We will provide further information shortly. Probably worth noting that E3 also said that they would do something digital and then later said we're not going to do anything. So I do wonder like what their plan is. But yeah, Gamescom is saying we're doing something digitally.
Blood and I got those GDC emails of them, like, what did they say, August or something?
The registration is open.
Yeah.
Right, you can pay money to go to
For
GDC
August.
right now. I don't understand.
And
In
I'm like,
August.
you guys are dreaming.
That seems so short-sighted. I don't understand that.
When I look
Like, how
at the
did you
world right now, I
cancel an
see
event?
people hungry to invest. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I see people, sniffing out a little risk here and there, ready to make the big jump, the plunge.
Well, especially when the last GDC cancellation was so like big and like involved. Like, why do the same thing again 3-4 months later?
Just
all right.
Just don't.
I think they were trying to appease the convention center or something, and it's just gonna backfire.
It must have. Been
That's got to be
like
a
that.
scary number of
I
cooks
think
in
they
that
were
kitchen.
too
Yeah.
early
Oh,
on
yeah.
the curve for everything being happening. And yeah.
That might be it. Like some weird contract that was signed.
And they were early on the like optimism curve too, because like a week ago, everyone was like, "Hey, maybe we'll be out of this by June," and now everyone's like, "No, 2020, this is it, man."
Yeah.
Or well, it's just the fact that when we get out of it, it's going to be gradual. It's
Right.
not going to be as
Yeah.
quick as when we got into it. So
Sort of the thing where you shouldn't probably have a giant mass meeting at a convention, maybe.
And was the ESA ever say anything official? Were they just like, we might do some, but we'll see.
Yeah,
they did, but I feel like Gamescom is being way more confident in messaging. And Keeley was like right there along with them, so I'm sure because he's involved with them now.
Yeah, opening night live, baby.
Yeah, so he's probably got the plan. Without Keeley being involved with the E3, they probably had no idea what to do.
I
Well,
truly believe
Gamescom-
Keeley is scheming right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. He's building his own E3 com.
The ESA
Yeah.
just posts, if you guys could have Keeley call us back, that'd be great.
Does he
We've
really have
called
Keely's
him.
new phone number?
You know how Batman, like one of the attributes I actually like about Batman is that he's always prepared. He's just got things all over the city for like he's ready for any scenario.
Yeah.
I feel like that's Keeley. I feel like he is very prepared for the situation. He's just like activates.
He's got multiple bat caves.
Yes.
So that's Keeley. He's got offices just set up in any city.
I do sort of feel like Keeley.
Where
has
are we
to
doing
have
this?
that.
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm already in Cincinnati, actually.
Are you
That's
flying there? How are
convenient
you
for me.
getting there? Just like
The tunnels.
I've always
Hello?
had that awkward question of like, but where does Keeley live?
Yeah. What city does it? He's got Elon Musk's hypertube or whatever the hell it's called already.
I want it
they
so
built
bad.
it
Access,
together.
dude. Yeah.
the Val
The
Kilmer.
hyperloop, whatever.
It is now time for love and respect. Beep 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 beep.
Love
and
respect.
Jones, how is this gonna work?
How's
We
what gonna
need
work?
we need Rufus back, man.
Yeah.
Are you gonna like just go to the office and pick him up?
I can go get him, but Blood was in the
Yeah.
office. But
Yeah. Wait, one of
What's
you
not
two,
on every episode?
somebody's
True.
got to pick up
It
Rufus.
would have to be you or me, I
Yeah.
guess.
true. If Rufus is going to be in the new Easy Honest podcast, if that's even.
Is that a threat, Jones?
Yeah, what? I mean, absolutely. By all means, make it your own thing.
Yeah. I'm holding auditions. Let me just put it down.
Holding on to.
I really
Considering I
hope you
want
have
it.
like
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's
put
like
some little toys.
it's a classic nonsense when like an actor's been the same part on a celebrated cartoon for like 8 years, and just like we're recasting. I mean, feel free to come in and audition. You're like, I already booked the job. What?
Yeah.
You're like, you'll probably get it again. Just come in and do a read with us. And just like so demoralizing. Like, okay,
Poor Rufus. Don't make Rufus audition.
I'm not.
We're trying to price gouge Rufus. We price gouge Rufus. We
Oh
don't
no, I'm
pay him
prouse
as
gouging him.
much. We're gonna prouse gouge him.
Where are all the extra Rufus clones, or whatever we want to call them?
Prouse.
Oh, we got clones.
Yeah.
Doofus
He's like
is his canonical
Palpatine,
brother,
dude.
but there's like a bunch of weird clones too.
Those just in the library room?
They might be.
They're probably in Jones's garage, frankly.
Yeah. I know I do not have them. I know that at
Okay.
least.
They might be right behind Jones in that closet.
They're in there for sure. This question I'm actually genuinely interested in. I like the panel's perspective on stuff like this. I became aware of the existence of mock reviews after I started working in the games industry several years ago. For those who've never heard of them, my understanding is that developers pay games journalists to produce reviews, which they then use to shape their marketing strategies. The reviews themselves, of course, never see the light of day, and I've never heard of them openly discussed by outlets that cover games. My question to the panel is, have you always been aware of mock reviews? Are they not openly discussed because there's some kind of taboo surrounding them? Given that they're never publicly released, it seems odd to pretend that they don't exist. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Chris.
I think Marcus Beer's doing that nowadays. I think he has a company.
Generally, it's like a consulting company, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
like
a hire
it's-
consulting company.
This is consulting.
You get paid a lot more money, I'll tell you that much.
Yes.
Yeah, they get paid very well. But I think it's not discussed because they're not. I've never conceived of them as reviews in the same way that we have reviews. They're
Yeah, I've
they're
never heard of it
focus
that way.
tests. They're
Yeah.
feedback. It's a consultant
Right.
giving you feedback. That's a different thing. And like
Analyst.
everybody pays everyone for that. Like it's a part of the development cycle for movies, for games, for music a lot of like it's just part of the process. Like it's the same thing as a focus group except you're getting a focus test from a knowledgeable expert in the field. And
Well,
that's
that
what
was part of
consultants
the-
are.
Yeah, that was part of the Ubisoft thing too. Remember we were talking about that earlier? That like one of their issues is that like they were kind of just sort of relying on one source. You know, it's like, oh, they're a guy. You know, he likes this and that, and he doesn't like these other things. And
Yeah.
like, oh, we've been listening to this one guy a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Or even 5 people is too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wonder about that, Blood. I wonder about the people who I think of like Mass Effect 3, right? And the reviews are probably like, this is amazing. This is an achievement of video game. Like, the standards have been reestablished. And they just don't expect the backlash that comes out because their internal reviews were good or something. I wonder if that just happens a lot.
If I were to start a company like Marcus Beer or whatever has that does this, I would like intentionally hire people with like the most polar opposite, like disparate tastes, and there'd be like 6 of them, and they would all play the thing, and like one guy hates open world, and one person like hates like story cutscenes, you know, whatever, and then like the nexus, you'd hand in a report with like, you know, the nexus of all of their opinions and say like, yeah, it's a 6.
Well, I think that's why they probably need people that are, you know, external. You know, you know, they probably have their internal people too, but you need external people in order to have this sense that they're going to tell it to you straight, not because, you know, they have lunch with, you know, the lead animator every Wednesday or whatever. So.
Do you think Bleeding Edge had internal reviews?
I kind of assume that everything does.
I would
assume.
too. I would think that unless you're like really small indie game, you probably do.
Like, I think that was a big launch that turned out to not be a big launch intentionally and maybe wisely, right? And I wonder if they did have internal reviews that are like, hey, like, you know, it's a fun game, but it's just not going to do anything. Don't invest too much marketing dollars into this. It kind of seems like that's the system working in a way.
Seems like they didn't market that thing at all.
Right.
Right.
I barely even knew it was out.
And sometimes we're mad, right? Sometimes like, this game was great. Why didn't they market this more? But generally, you know, for the most part, there isn't that discrepancy too many times.
And it can sound creepy when you hear about stuff like this, or you find about that somebody's working for a company, or that somebody, you know, because it always cracks me up when I would talk to someone who, like, I know has been a journalist, or I know is in game dev, and then just hasn't made a game, or hasn't written something in a really long time, and I'll like talk to them at a party, and they're like, oh yeah, is that developer doing that? Yeah, I checked that out a couple years ago. And I'm like, you did what now? And they're like, yeah, I went to their place and played it, and just like, but they the developers count on that person knowing like, oh yeah, we can bring them in because we know like who are they going to talk to. Like they're just not, that's not what their lives are. That's not what their jobs are. They're not like constantly under pressure. Like, oh, the lights are on, the camera's on. I got to remember not to talk about that thing. That can actually get really tricky with us. Blood, where you message out something like, we got this code, everyone shut up about it. Like we can't say anything.
Nobody's saying
because
anything.
Those things are like week by week. Whereas if you're in the situation that Amanda gets in sometimes, where she'll be in a video game and then like 2 years will go by and she's like, oh, that's still coming out? Yeah, I forgot what that was, but I'm in it, and these people, just because of leaks
Norman Reedus in PT.
Right. Just because of leaks and everything, like they have to sell themselves as being off the grid, just being far apart from, you never hear me talk about anything. It's not just, oh, I'll talk about all these other things that I know about the industry, but I'll just keep quiet about your game. It's like, I'm not a part of the conversation, man.
Right. I think where people get concerned is, because, being quote unquote mock reviews, that means like it becomes the career path, that like a lot of people after they've worked at an outlet for a long time, like an IGN or a GameSpot or whatever, they eventually, they get to this situation where they've hit the ceiling, and like the only way that they're going to be able to make more money, take care of their family or whatever is, to become a consultant like this. So people feel like as a reviewer, they're trying to butter themselves up with publishers. Whereas I don't think most people probably think of it that way. And then going back to kind of what Ian was saying, like, I don't think that it necessarily benefits you to be the guy saying good things about somebody's games. Like, they want you to find the holes. They want you to figure out what are we doing wrong right now so that we won't have that being said in the real reviews.
Well, I mean, Marcus, you brought up Marcus Beer, and it's like, he seems like a person with the perfect disposition for this kind of task, because it's like, he's not going to sugarcoat this. He's going to say, this is terrible, and here's why. Money, please.
I also don't look at these things as like a bug review. You're either coming at this from a Pactor perspective, where it's just like, I'm looking at the market and it doesn't look like it needs something like this right now. It doesn't look like the audience is there, or if the audience does exist and they're excited about these products, they have this game already. They're not going to jump ship or buy something, or they don't know who you are, or there's just no name. There's nothing to like exciting to get it attached to, or just fundamentally, this just doesn't work. This just like, I don't know, it reminds me of this other game or something. It's like these people I always consider to be kind of like drawing board, where they're like, okay, I can completely take a step back from this. Because that's the other thing too, is like, a lot of times when we hear about maybe people getting on the ground floor in terms of bug testing and stuff, like the game's already like, a lot of work has been done. These people are being brought in like really at the concept phase. So it's like these people aren't as valuable for like, the God of War 2018, because it's just like, this is just going to happen. This is we need the creative minds behind this franchise, behind this vision of this character to really just run with this. Whereas
it's for marketing teams,
right? Yeah. If we have like Bleeding Edge, some brand new IP, brand new thing, specifically going at a multiplayer audience, are they there? Does it do that? Just like if I bring you in your room and all of a sudden it's like, ta-da, here's this game. And you're like, oh, the only taste that I've ever really gotten of this is like Judges Week, when we'll like legitimately walk into a room and be like, what? Like, I didn't know, what a crazy thing you're working on. There's still Judges Week games I've played that have never been announced.
That's funny, Jones.
There was that kind of thing. They were just like, yeah, and they sell it that way at the meeting. They're like, they don't play it up like, welcome to the future of multiplayer. They're just like, nah, here's a fun thing that we're doing. And, sometimes those work, sometimes they don't.
I would love to hear stories. We don't hear like marketing background stories too many times. I'd love to hear about the discrepancies. The reviewers who trashed a game that turned out to be huge, or they just loved a game that turned out to be trash. I want to hear those stories.
Demon Souls, right? They didn't believe in Demon Souls?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Everyone
Shuhei
thought
Yoshida
Demon Souls-
even says he like, hey man, I messed up.
After the fact, yeah.
Yeah.
I think from that whole retro when we did that was one of the big standout moments. I was like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't know Shuhei specifically, but for me, it was nostalgia, because we were there. We were at that TGS, We were like, what is this crappy looking game?
It's cool.
And then we imported it, and Ryan Stevens says, I'm taking this home. I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah, my friend imported a Korean version of it because it was in English. He was
I
like,
think it was like a
gaga
Hong
for
Kong
it.
version, or Asian.
Yeah.
Asian was what it was called, yeah.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
And he was just like, this is awesome.
Next one. Next entry. I got the news that my uncle passed away suddenly over the weekend. Even though he wasn't showing the usual signs, his body tested positive for COVID-19. He was the only family member above my generation that was also into video games. In his honor, and to finally do something about the pandemic, I got into Folding at Home. It's a program that will basically turn your own computer into one of hundreds of thousands running incredibly complex simulations for protein folding to help find treatments or maybe even a cure for certain viruses, including COVID-19. I figure it might be nice to get the word out because many podcast listeners can feel useless against this virus, but probably have computers. Just look up foldingathome.org. It's very easy to set up, and you don't have to run it nonstop, just whenever you feel like it, or you can choose to have it run while your computer is idle. The client will take a few minutes to find a project, run for about an hour. You'll know when it's running because you probably hear your CPU fan speed up, and then stop until it finds another project, or you click stop. Shout out to the uncles in their late 60s that still have the original issue of Nintendo Power, and will take time to talk to you about their experience playing Breath of the Wild, even if they haven't played a game since Pokemon Red. Love and respect, Joe. Yeah, that one starts devastating, but gets to a really interesting point that I'm like, heck yeah, let's talk about.
Thank you for sharing that, Joe. That's great.
Yeah, I've got that on my computer. I've been doing that actually.
Nice.
Right, I love that,
Cool.
right? Because we are powerless, and it's just like, hey, you can do this. I love that. Great
You just
perspective.
go to the site and just set it and do it, and that's it.
You can download a thing. And
Yeah, it came out pretty early on the PS3.
I
There was
love
a
Folding at
PS3
Home was
for a
on
long
the
time.
Yeah.
The screensaver doesn't work on my computer. Maybe it works on someone else's, but I don't think it really works. So it'll show a display that isn't really doing anything, but if you look on the little web interface, it'll say doing this much and whatever.
Yeah.
When I started it, it didn't have a drop down for coronavirus specifically, but you just say do whatever you want, basically. Maybe they added one. I haven't looked at it in a couple of days, but
It's cool. Basically, donating your processing power. I think that's genius.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. Let's play a game. This
Sorry
game
to
is
hear
wild.
about your uncle, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
no
absolutely.
respect.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
really
worst.
sad.
Okay, so we had... Easy Allies hit 250 reviews.
Nice.
We have some interest. We had two interesting games based off of this, or one was more like factoids, but this one's wild to me. This is going to be crazy. Okay.
I love stuff like this.
From Alexander Ziranov. Hello, Allies. At the time of writing, you are one review away from the milestone of 250 reviews, and I think we hit it with Resident Evil Resistance.
Nice.
I cut that one.
Here's the game.
Oh, we might. I'm not sure that we exactly got there.
Oh, okay. Because someone else said we hit 250, so we might be at 249, which this one says.
Okay.
This one
Yeah,
says
because I
249.
think one of those videos in the playlist is the review scores are changing.
Because here's the game. I've read all 249
mock review.
review scripts, so that might be the case. Jones. And
You
picked
read
words.
all of them?
Yeah, read all of them. Picked words and phrases that are used only by a single ally.
Yeah,
Dude,
here we go.
what?
Exposed.
So I'm going to read this phrase, and you have to pick who is the only person to ever
Who
use
uses
this phrase
bolsters the
in
most?
reviews. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Jonathan and I have a little bit of advantage, but okay.
A little
Everybody
bit.
says
Yeah.
bolsters.
Here's
I
the
think.
thing. You're going to have no idea because they're actually inconspicuous. First one,
Sure.
Let's see.
it's possible.
Jones.
There's one person who wrote "It's possible" in 17 different reviews.
Ben.
It's Ben.
Oh.
Tell me,
what
how would you even
possible?
guess that?
I read every single script that I write.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's possible is innocuous. How are you not going to say it's possible? And Ben is the only person to ever write "It's possible" in a review.
I've
That's
never read
crazy
It's
to me.
Possible once.
Well, you clearly haven't. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've never
I mean,
read it once. That's crazy.
Now that you say Ben, I could hear it.
All right.
Well, it's possible that blah blah blah.
Yeah.
True. The same is true.
Damiani.
The same is true.
Damiani, yeah.
Or Brad?
That's another Ben.
Oh, another
Damn.
Ben.
Oh.
Are these all Ben?
They're not all Ben. So Ben said the same is true in 11 different reviews.
Funny.
I love
These
this
little
game.
phrases.
Okay. Lastly,
That's me, 100%.
Huber.
How did
100%.
what? It is Huber.
Yeah, 100%. I use that all the time.
Why is Huber the only person saying lastly? Why?
Because every one of his paragraphs begins with firstly, secondly, thirdly.
Thinking of like
Fourthly, fifthly.
almost like a list. Yeah.
I mean, that's how I learned to write essays. 10 reviews have said lastly in them.
Nice.
I gotta put. I'm gonna intentionally put all of these into my
Yeah.
next review.
All of them in one
Just to
review?
kill the game.
Yeah.
It
That'd
can
be
never
so
exist
funny.
again. Some sort of.
Some sort of
Brad.
Suicide Squad.
Some sort of. Is that Brad?
Me?
That's Ben too.
oh,
Damn you, Kyle.
Ben did that in 9 different. How is that Ben? Some sort of is only Ben.
What was it? It was some sort of, and what was the first one that was weird?
The other Ben one.
it's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible and some sort of. Like, what is
It's possible that some sort of
I can't
It's so
picture
funny.
some sort
advancement's
of.
been
That's-
made
Yeah.
in this
I
game.
love this.
It's possible.
It's
Yeah.
difficult.
I'm
John.
sorry.
Damiani.
Wait, me.
Ben. That's a
Damn,
Ben one.
what's this Ben game?
What? What is it?
Mix them up, Kyle.
What's this Ben? This weird.
That's what makes it random. That's what's good about this. Yeah. So Ben said it's difficult in 9 different reviews. No one else said the words
Okay.
it's difficult.
Well, but he's using it in the like. It's difficult
Yeah,
to
yeah.
say if.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Difficult to
Definitely that-
underestimate or over.
It's not a
Ben
complete
is
sentence. It's
never. Yeah. Yeah, he's never thought a game was difficult.
difficult. All right. Next one I actually love. Each upgrade.
That's happened enough to chart.
It's happened 9 different times for this one person.
Damiani.
It's me or Brad.
It's
Brad.
It's Huber. It's Huber.
Oh, Huber.
Huber is into the upgrades.
Huber
love
loves
the
upgrades.
upgrades.
Each
yeah.
upgrade.
Yeah. I love
You feel it.
Yeah.
Can you think of some reviews where you said each upgrade?
Resident Evil Resistance. Maybe even Resident Evil 3.
No Resident Evils.
No Resident Evils?
Evil Within 2 though.
Nice.
That counts, right? Ratchet and Clank, obviously.
Nice.
God of War.
Oh,
He
essential
listed each one?
upgrades.
Vampire, Control, Dead Cells, Doom, the original, or not the original,
Okay.
but the one from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Rage 2, yeah. Each upgrade.
Yeah, I had forgotten that Huber had done that Doom review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this might be a personality quirk.
Was that
Quite
4
a
years
few.
ago? Was that 2016?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah. What,
Quite a
say
few.
it again.
Quite a few.
That's me.
It's probably Ben again.
Me?
It's Ben. It's Ben again.
Oh,
Damn it!
Again? I just need to say Ben every time.
Well, he uses these little phrases we're learning.
Quite a few. Who would have picked up on that phrase? Okay.
Some sort of. It's possible.
Some sort of, yeah, next time I'm on Frame
Wait.
Trap, we should
At
all
the
just
end of
talk
this,
about...
Bossman, at the end of this, can we see? Can you read them all and we could see if we can make a sentence out of them?
all the Ben ones.
All the Benisms.
Okay.
all
yeah.
the Benisms.
Yields.
Yields, I love that word.
Damiani.
That's
It's Huber.
100%.
Oh, it's Huber.
I love that word.
It is a
Yields.
good word, dude.
Good.
Nobody else
Favorite
uses yields.
words.
It's
Doing
like
A
iconic
yields
for Huber.
B. Yeah.
All of y'all love bolsters and bolstered. That
Yeah.
comes up in our stuff.
It's
a
too many
lot.
different reviews, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody has
Right.
claim over bolstered.
Mm.
A nice addition.
Brad.
That-
Yes.
Me?
Nailed
Is
it.
it-
Bullseye.
Brad?
It's
Brad?
Yes.
Wow.
He said a nice addition in 8 different reviews.
Why do all these seem like Damiani to me?
I
Yeah.
know.
But it's none of them.
A decent number.
I think that might be me.
That's Jones.
It's Brad.
It's Brad.
Damn it!
Hmm.
This is hard.
This is extremely hard.
Yeah.
Manages to feel.
Ben.
Ben.
Damiani.
Michael Huber.
Oh.
Oh,
Manages to feel.
Manages to feel, dude. You said it in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins. They both
Nice.
manages to feel some way.
Okay, all right.
authentic, probably, or something like
Nice.
true to the time, or something.
In just about every.
Ben.
What?
I
That's
love this
Ben.
game.
Ben.
In,
Ben.
in just about every.
Ben.
In just about every. I mean, it's probably Ben.
It's Damiani.
Ah, damn it! The one time I didn't guess Damiani.
Just about every.
Just about every.
The Michael Damiani story.
No, yeah, I can hear him saying that.
Okay, here's one that I'm positive I never. This is one does seem unique. I've never said this in my life. The early goings.
Bloodworth.
Blood.
Damiani.
No.
That's.
blood.
Is it
Bloodworth.
It's Damiani.
It's I was gonna say it's Damiani or Bloodworth for sure.
Damn it, I thought that was Bloodworth.
Blood, you said Damiani, right? Yeah, you
In
know
the
that's not
early
you.
goings.
The early goings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Blood and Damiani are a lot about they tell the story of like how you're going through it. They're like, so okay, so I played this game. Here's what went down. Like it's definitely that perspective.
Yeah.
It's like you and Damiani are really good with writing something where like your opinion might change over time. You know.
The early goings.
Yeah.
Have a few. Only one person has ever used the phrase "have a few" in all of the Easy Allies reviews.
Have a few.
Have a few.
My guess is Jones, Brad, or Huber, but
It is Brad.
yeah.
Have a few.
Huber, why don't
Have
you
a
like the
few.
phrase "have a few"?
Like what? I need the context.
I know, me too.
Is it like have a few?
We
a
did
few.
have
you might,
a few.
we did. You might have a
instances,
few issues pop up when you're trying to log
Yeah.
on or something. Or,
Sure.
Okay, I like
There
that.
it is. There it is. Yep.
You may have a few. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think sometimes, he definitely tries to separate and like talk about like with bugs and frame rate and stuff.
You might have a
He'll
few
talk
bugs.
about it as like, personally, this is what happened. Not necessarily that it's going to happen every time, but yeah.
Nice.
Can be used for. Can
Ben.
be
I've
used
said
for.
that.
It's Huber.
Me?
Huber.
Oh, Huber.
How did you know you said that?
That's just something I've written. I know I've written that.
proud of you, Huber.
Yeah, I know I've
I
written that down.
remember.
Okay. So it's going to get harder because now we're down to these phrases have only existed in 4 reviews, but it's
Oh
still
my
just
God.
one person.
Okay,
Okay.
The game does a good job.
me.
Ben.
It's Brad.
Ben?
It's Brad.
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 It's Brad. The game does a good job. Is a brand new.
No way.
Is a brand
Someone
new.
cornered the market.
There's only one
said
person.
this?
He's cornered the market on it. Is a brand new. Yeah.
Huber?
It's Brad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's Brad.
Brad's got a lot of these now.
Yeah.
Is a brand new game from blah blah blah, or is a brand new you
Yeah.
know vision for the franchise or something? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The co-op.
Huber.
The co-op has only been said by one reviewer.
Huber Damiani.
It's Daniel Bloodworth.
Bloodworth.
Nice.
What game?
How is that not said by Huber?
Forza Horizon 4, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Splatoon 2. The
How
co-op.
did I not say that
No
in the
idea.
NAC 2 review?
Or
No
the
idea.
Way Out review.
You may have
Yeah.
said co-op?
Yeah.
The
It has to say
co-op.
the co-op.
Damn it.
Okay.
The
All right.
co-op.
This one I feel like should be easy. That being said,
Damiani.
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 Damiani. A range of different. This game is long, but I love
This
it
is
to death.
amazing. No, this is great.
I said it's me.
That is you, Bloodworth.
Hey, nice.
Nice.
A range of different.
A range of different.
Kunai, you did that as recently.
He likes his options.
Yeah,
At
a range
Blood
of
in
different
his games.
abilities.
You can tell.
Is virtually.
Ben.
Is
No.
Huber
virtually-
Damiani?
Brandon Jones.
Jones hasn't really had any, huh?
Jones hasn't
I haven't
a
had
single
any
one,
in here.
which is good, probably.
Is that one me then
Is
again?
it Brad then?
It's Damiani.
I said
Oh.
Damiani.
Yeah, you did. You said this or Damiani, but yeah, it's Damiani. It feels good to.
Me. There it is.
That is Jones.
Yeah.
Jones is all
because the
about
horses.
feelings.
It feels good to ride the horses, right?
Yeah.
Remember this?
Yeah.
And Red Dead Redemption 2 is on here. That's funny. So, Jones, you've done that 3 different times. It feels good to.
What were the other two?
I'm hungry to do it again.
Days Gone, Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
It feels
Is it
good
always is it always about riding something?
yeah.
to. For sure, dude.
Motorcycle, horse, and what do you ride? Trucks? I don't know.
In slow motion.
In slow
Huber.
motion?
In slow motion.
Me?
Yes, Jones. So he did that for Days Gone, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Steep.
Okay.
Like you can
know how
allow you to
else you
shoot
would-
in slow motion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you do the slowing down time for Red Dead 2.
Yeah, and stunts and steep.
Okay.
I wonder how else you would say that. I gotta look up how other
Bullet
people
time.
describe.
That's how Huber would say it.
Yeah.
You can customize.
Yeah, bullet time.
Wait, you can customize? It's only been said by one person in 3 or 4 reviews?
In 3 reviews.
I think
yeah.
that's
This is me.
That's
no,
Huber.
I think that's me again.
It is Jones again.
Yeah,
Jones.
we've reached the Jones zone. These strips. Each one of
Hey,
these
this is good though, Jones.
But
It
it's
means you
like
use a
Huber
bunch
said.
of things a little bit.
When that bell rings, you're like, oh wait, that's really well
I've written
put.
that.
That makes sense to me.
You remember your little fingers
Yeah.
typing that.
All right, there's only 3 left.
Crazy
This
that no
next
one
one is-
writes that. Wow.
Very funny to me. Exactly. Here we go. Canisters.
Wait. Blood or Damiani?
Or it's about exploding
used
canisters, and that's like Huber.
No, I say like
Canisters.
barrels.
Oh yeah, you'd say barrels.
Brad?
Yeah.
It's Jones. He's the only person talking about canisters.
Canisters? This has got to be so
Which
specific.
games?
No, this has
Which
got to be
games?
game specific.
Crackdown 3, Days Gone, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Canisters.
What canisters? What canisters are in Horizon?
What canisters are in Days
Yeah, I don't know
Gone?
about that one.
I'm curious. I don't know.
Canisters.
But if you're I just our poor buddy Alexander Zarinov. I just imagine him just literally canisters.
Wait a minute.
No.
Wait a minute.
There
Yeah, I
has
wonder
to
if
be-
some of these are like spawned out of like
Some
having a hard
software.
time translating something.
I have to believe it was some software, right? That you can cross-reference.
It's not.
to find
It's not a
unique
beautiful.
phrases.
It's not a beautiful mind. He's got them all taped
I
up on his
don't know.
wall. It's canisters.
I imagine
canisters,
you
canisters.
paste them all into one document and use like find or something. I don't know.
And
how
I
you
bet there
do
were
this.
some really funny ones that were just ruined by one person also using that phrase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Canisters is a 10 out of 10.
You gotta put
Only
canisters.
Canisters. I'm bringing it back.
Canisters.
The only human being in this company who has written canisters.
I just want a shirt.
Multiple times.
Canisters.
Not just once.
Okay.
It's not offensive. It's not like non-descriptive. It's just weird. It's just a weird
just a
word.
weird word.
So
It's a weird
specific.
word.
Really
Somewhere I
specific
picked up-
choice.
Because sometimes somebody says something. Somebody will tell me I say something irregardless. You know
Yeah.
Ian, you finally slapped that one out of me.
Yeah.
And that was my mom. Like I'll be around my mom now, and she's like, "Well, irregardless," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna." At her age,
Have I-
I'm just Mom, own it. Just make it. Just do your best. Get out there in the world and see how many people you can get to say irregardless. But me, I'm gonna hunt for the right thing to say.
Jones,
wanna
did you
write-
want your canister of applesauce?
But the canister, where did it come? Where did it come from? Who put? What
It's a
college
normal
course
word.
was I
There's
in? When,
nothing-
like canister, like. Or what game called it canister? It was like,
Yeah,
this was
so
canister
called
in the
it a
menu,
canister,
and then I
yeah.
It's
wrote it
honestly,
into one
it's
review.
more weird to me.
then-
It's more weird to me that these things have not been used by the
By
other
other
people.
for
people,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I typed in video game canisters,
Okay.
and the thing that popped up were 3 videos of Lego Batman.
Lego
No
Batman
idea
must have
why.
canisters.
Yeah.
At the center of
Ben.
Damiani.
Ben.
At the center of. Yeah, I'm gonna say Ben.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Ooh.
I was thinking it might be me. Yeah.
Why didn't you say so?
Don't know.
We all get the points if you don't guess it, Blood.
Yeah.
What's the score?
Last one. Giving you freedom to.
Ben.
Me.
Sounds like Ben or
Damiani.
Damiani to me.
Damiani.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Oh.
Nice.
What was that for?
Interesting. No, the freedom. Giving you the freedom. Too.
All right, so it's Forza Horizon 3, giving you the freedom to. Forza Motorsport 7, and Observation, which you don't have a lot of freedom in.
Giving you the freedom to enjoy the scenery,
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
enjoy the environments, enjoy the mood.
Wow.
That's how Bloodworth spins them.
so
Loved
much
that
work.
game. That's navel gazing, hardcore, but I just loved it to death.
Well, not for us. We're uninvolved. You and I.
Yeah. Yep.
Bossman.
That was fun.
Actually, this next one's navel gazing too, but I need to know the answer.
Love it.
Hi, allies. One of my favorite EZA-isms has always been your ability to coin weird phrases and in-jokes, which the community thereafter never seems to forget. When I first started following your content back in 2016, I found that a great way to get caught up on this absurd lingo was through the launch marathon Monopoly stream. 7.8 Street, The Goddess, Crunch Court, Uneasy Alliance Avenue, Taco Pizza Parkway, Must Be Nice Midway, Backdoor Shady Road, etc. While some of the phrases have obviously persisted more so than others, I still feel that it was a great introduction to the Allies as a whole over time. I have then learned the meaning of many of these phrases, as well as their context and origin. However, there is one phrase whose meaning and origin has completely eluded me for years.
At the center of.
We will give you the freedom to enjoy
Yes.
this meal.
Allies. I would greatly appreciate if you could explain break for me. I've been trying to
Huber has to
figure
do
it
this
out
one.
for a while. It seems to be a direct reference to something. The intonation also sort of matches
Yeah.
the way Huber sometimes yells Franklin James,
Franklin James.
which seems to be another reference I don't understand. However, the phrase is so generic that I can't find a good result online. Other conversations have implied that Franklin James is a strange portmanteau of for England James, but makes no sense. No matter how much I speculate, I can't find the answer. Allies, please, what is the meaning of break for me? Eleanor, Edvin.
Was it Break for Me originally? Or was it something else?
It dates back to game trailers.
Yes.
I'm not even sure I know the origin of this.
Well, it's the
I feel like it's a cross between something with the Christian Bale.
yeah, it's
Good
the
for
Bale.
you.
It's the
Good
Bale
for
Red.
you.
Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's the
Yes.
tone.
Yeah.
Same intonation, but where did break for me come from? What
I
were you
feel
playing?
like it was Ruari, like RHD or something.
it was a stream at GT, I think.
Totally a stream.
Yeah.
I thought it was something Huber's trying to get the game to buckle,
S-
right? You were trying to like make a game break, and you said break for me,
break for me.
and then
I feel like someone in chat though
said break for me first.
Said break for me first, and then we just adopted the Christian Bale.
Because we were doing the
This is gonna be
Bale.
correction. This is gonna be.
It was a group
pointed out
stream. We were
in detail.
doing Bale like the whole group stream.
Yeah.
And so when it
Yeah,
came up
yeah.
with a 3 syllable
It was a
whatever,
Defy-
and it fit.
It was a Defy era second building
Wow.
stream
Definitely
for sure.
Second building.
Second building. It was when we were in the SAG building.
in the closet. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were in the
Interesting.
closet.
Yeah, because I remember we were streaming in the green screen room,
Yeah.
and I remember chat saying "break for me" over and over again, and then I think I like came in late, and I was like, "What the hell's going on? What is this?"
Nuts.
And then everyone was saying "break for me" for days, and I didn't know what the hell was going on.
It's still very funny. Jones, we didn't used to do group streams, dude. We didn't used to.
Oh, right,
usually
yeah.
All of us
Oh,
on
right.
camera for one live stream never happened before Easy Allies.
Right.
Well, at the very
no,
end
until
of
dawn.
game
until
trailers.
dawn. Until dawn.
True.
That was, I think, the first one.
Yeah. How weird is that?
Yeah, I mean, well, one of the other things too is that like, at game trailers, like a lot of streams were sort of not really official.
Yeah, they were low key. Yeah.
But no, I mean, like literally, like you do this after work,
Yeah.
and then people will be there until whatever, 7 to 9 or whatever like that.
I
Did
do
they
want
also want to know the Franklin James
We
one?
should explain Franklin James. Yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
Franklin James is I love yelling the GoldenEye quote of Sean Bean, "For England, James, blow them all to hell." Mm-hmm. So Kyle and I were streaming something, and I just blurted it out like I do, yelled it really loud, like, "For England, James, blow them all to hell."
And that sounds like Franklin James to me.
It does sound like Franklin
Bossman,
James.
It does.
So
Bossman goes, "Huber, what? Who's Franklin James?"
also,
I just lost it.
worth adding on to this, many years later, I think just last year, I watched GoldenEye, and that's not the line.
Yeah, what is
separated.
the exact line? Okay, what is the exact line?
See, he says, "For England, James," right? And when he's like going to like not shoot himself, but he like sacrifices himself, right?
Yeah.
And then later on says, "Blow them all to hell."
Let them all down.
Separated by like 60 seconds, but
Damn
Huber
it.
makes it one line every time. For England, James, blow them all to hell.
Well, for England, James is that's the first thing you see them say to each other, and the last thing they say to each other.
Yes, yeah.
Because when he drops
that
him, he
thing
says,
you
"For
hate.
England, James," and he
me.
says, "No, for me."
10 out of 10.
But also, I think you're using also the same intonation as "For pity's sake."
For
pity's sake, yeah.
It's like
Give
the same.
them a moment.
It's the same thing.
Same actor, at least.
Same
Yeah.
actor, exactly.
It's all connected.
I would
That's how my
like
brain
to
works.
play another game. Oh yeah, this is a game
Okay.
that we must
Huber's.
play.
Before we move on, I just want to say that Huber's intonation and inflections have infected all of our speech
Of
patterns
course.
Oh,
in a
They're
way
really the
that
same.
I've never experienced with another human being. Like we all just talk like Huber now. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. I'm still looking. There's just I
He's a
pulled too
worm.
many.
He just get.
Yeah, he's like a linguistic virus from Snow Crash or something.
Las Plagas.
One moment. Man, okay, there we go. Oh, I like stuffed these in the wrong
I just
spot.
imagine my neck cocking to the side. It opens up, and Huber's head just like, dude, like pops out.
Yo, Franklin James.
Franklin James.
Throw them all to hell.
I want to watch Goldeneye now.
Yeah, me
Seriously,
too.
Jones, me too.
Worth a rewatch, definitely.
Yes, the best.
That Amazon thing, man. I think that Goldeneye could get that at Goldeneye on Amazon Prime, man.
Yeah, I
it
think that's
on
how I
there?
saw it. I don't think it was free, but I think that's how I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, we will be doing Love and Respect next week because you're paying for it. Well, the $5 patrons are paying for it. But I definitely had to get this in last time. We have a panel, a game that we must play: Pokemon or Real Animal.
Yes.
This, of course, comes from Tanner Methvin. Here we go. Despite having gills, they can't live in water nor in dry areas. However, they do live. Wherever they do live has to be damp.
Real.
Wherever they do live has to be damp.
Yeah,
This is-
I'll go real.
It's probably a mud puppy or something.
It is real. It's called a pill bug.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They have
Caught
gills?
one of those in Animal
Yeah.
Crossing.
Oh, gross, Jones.
Those live
big
up
are they?
in Wisconsin. I've seen
Gross.
The little guy.
Yeah.
They pop out of the rocks.
just
when you
little
smack
bugs.
them.
You ever play with those when you were a little kid?
tiny little bugs. I don't think those are out here. Oh, no, he's not from here.
Yeah, Bloodworth is from a damp area.
Well,
Yeah.
they're in Wisconsin, too.
Okay, cool. No.
This reminds me of Better Call Saul, Bossman.
What part? dude?
Caught in a prairie dog trap. They're just like weird animals I've never heard of.
I
You never
get
heard of a
it.
prairie
I
dog?
100% get it.
It's like a meerkat.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
But
Prairie
like,
dog.
it's the kind of thing you would. There's no writer who's capable of thinking of lines like that without consulting somebody.
yeah,
Yeah,
like where did you pull that from?
Exactly. All right.
Don't
It's-
you remember in the movie Rat Race when she says she's prairie dogging it?
Prairie. Oh, I heard.
I
I've
feel like
heard that
you'd heard of
expression.
prairie
actually,
dogs like
yes.
all throughout westerns and stuff.
Yes, true. I have heard that expression. I guess I was just thrown off because it was an actual animal rather than an expression.
I think at the beginning
Right.
of Indiana Jones 4, that's a prairie dog.
It's a prairie dog.
The joke.
A CG
where it
prairie
comes
dog.
up out of the little. It's not a mountain this time. It's a pile of dirt, which is a good allegory for the movie. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
There's that part of The Mask where Shrek says that he's got a turtle head popping out. Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. It shakes its head back to front, causing its antennae. Is that how you pronounce multiple of antennae? Okay. To hit each other and sound like a xylophone.
That is
Pokemon.
That's a Pokemon.
That's a Pokemon.
That's a Pokemon. That's
Ah.
Cricketot.
Cricketot.
Bad Pokemon. Do not like Cricketot.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No way any antennae are making noises like that.
Most insects rub their legs together to make
Oh, that's how you make the
Yeah.
his legs.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah.
When scared, it cries. Its tears pack the chemical punch of 100 onions.
That's a Pokemon.
Too easy.
No, that's
Yeah.
real. Oh.
What? It's Pokemon.
Oh, man, I was hoping it was real.
Chemical punch of 100 onions. What are you two thinking of?
Yeah.
Like a little snail that's
What is
defense
this?
mechanism is like it gets
There's a lot of
sad.
insects with chemical things
Yeah.
going on.
I can't imagine reading that in like a National Geographic.
Yeah. The
Chemical
chemical
punch of
punch.
100 onions.
Sobble, the new Pokemon who only cries.
Oh, got it.
As it digs, it swallows sand and stores it in its neck pouch. The pouch can hold more than 17 pounds of sand.
Real.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Judging by
17
Kyle's face, that's
pounds?
a,
17 pounds.
that's a
17
real.
That sounds like a Pokemon.
It's a Pokemon. Silicobra.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a new
Yeah,
one.
17 pounds is too much.
That's yeah, it's too much. It is believed to be the first creature domesticated by man.
I mean,
That's a
real.
dog.
Real life.
Hey, real, yeah.
This is probably a trick, though. Since
So here's the thing: it is
Sure.
real, but it's not dog.
Pig?
Good guess.
Sheep.
ox, mule.
Sheep's
Bird?
a great guess.
A bird.
Well, it's got to be way back.
Horse.
Prairie dog.
Don't tell us.
Goat.
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 Yeah.
Black Phillip.
Circling right around it and missed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we said everything goat like.
I would never have landed on goat. I never would have landed on goat.
It'll make so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does
So-
make sense.
You'll find an eye at the tip of each of its legs.
Ugh. I hope that's a
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Oh, that's real.
What is it?
Is it like a starfish or a sea urchin or something?
It's a starfish.
Starfish, dude. Blood.
Dr.
Yeah.
Bloodworth.
Why do they have
Friend of the seas, Daniel
I can tell
Bloodworth.
you what,
Aquaman over here.
I don't want to look at a starfish ever again.
Hey, wait. Are starfish? Can they like? You can cut them and they just become two
Yeah.
starfish. What's that called? It's not osmosis. Well, sort of is.
A regeneration?
Yeah,
That might
yeah.
be not entirely it.
Ouroboros.
It's called
Ouroboros.
Yeah.
That's like the whole. It's like Ang Lee's Hulk. That's like what that was all about.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what he based it on.
Dude, Ang Lee's Hulk shout out.
Lures
weird
of prey.
movie.
That's a bad movie.
Weird.
Lures prey with a sweet aroma of honey. Swallowed whole, the prey is melted in a day, bones and all.
It's a
Whoa.
Venus flytrap, probably.
Yeah,
gonna
that
say
sounds real.
Pokemon.
That sounds like
Or a
some kind
pitcher
of pitcher
plant.
plant or something.
Yeah.
Please be real.
Here's what I love about that, is that's the real thing this is based off of. That's a Pokemon, Victreebel.
But
Got
that's
it. Yep.
it's a pitcher plant.
Victory Bell, savage.
Yeah, sweet smell of honey, swallows the prey whole. Within a day, their bones are melted.
Maybe it's too
Bones
powerful
are
a
there.
little
yeah,
too
within
powerful
a day.
for
Yep.
real
Yeah.
life, yeah.
But yeah, that's a Pokemon. Okay. Its body sweats a pink fluid which acts as a moisturizer and antibiotic. The exact chemical properties of this blood sweat is still unknown.
Real.
Blood sweat.
That's real. What is it?
It's like a toad or something.
I don't remember.
It's
what it is.
Lashif from Casino Royale.
Hippopotamus?
Yes!
Hippopotamus, dude.
You knew the blood sweat.
Yes!
Friend of
That
all
was in
the
Wild
beasts.
Streams.
Yes, yeah. I learned about blood sweat because I was
Yep.
making a hippo.
I remember
Yeah.
this.
Oh my god.
So
Blood
gross.
sweat.
The exact chemical properties of the blood sweat still unknown.
How is that possible? Go test the damn blood sweat, you scientists.
It's like, eh.
Blood
They did. They ran it and
Well, hippos
I mean,
are
all the
dangerous.
machines.
Yeah, hippos kill hundreds
Can't
of
get
people
near
every
those
year.
things.
Yeah. When it eats, its eyes move to its mouth to help push the food down its throat.
Real.
I could.
Ooh.
That's like some kind of amphibian or a fish or something, maybe.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Ian, you're so close. What is this?
Gina Davis in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, it's a frog.
Beetlejuice.
Frogs do that.
It's a frog?
Yeah.
Frogs do
Because
that.
no, yeah, I remember seeing frogs
Huh.
eat, and their little eyes go blop when they swallow, and I never
That's cool.
thought about it. I just, yeah, that's cool.
What
Frogs
a weird
are
way to
great.
evolve, right?
Yeah, dude. Who thinks of that?
Just like, oh, my eyes would help with this. It's just like,
Dude, have you caught this weird, like, barrelhead fish or
Yeah.
whatever in Animal
Yeah,
Crossing?
yeah.
I looked that thing up. That is creepy.
There's some nasty
Did you see what
looking-
Blathers had to say about it? Why they have a
Oh my
see-through
God.
forehead? According
are
to
you
Blathers.
reading
Yeah.
everything Blathers has to tell you?
No,
I read
just
this
caught
one
that
because
one.
the fish was so
Okay.
weird.
All right.
But yeah, I looked up the National Geographic video that talked about it too. But yeah, it's like, yeah, their entire like head is transparent. Their eyes are inside their head.
So they can look up through their own head
Yeah,
for
and see.
predators.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what Blathers said.
Cool.
I know.
Yeah.
So the Blathers also thought it was cool.
I get it. I
Have
get
you
why
ever
you listen to
seen-
Blathers.
Have you ever seen cave fish in real life, boss?
Yeah, yeah.
Where they're like, they have
In
no
real life?
pigment because light never touches them, so they just never bothered.
And they don't have eyes anymore.
Yeah, and they don't have eyes. They don't have eyes, and they're just
These eyes.
see-through because they don't need melatonin or whatever to protect them from the sun or whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool.
They're just completely transparent.
Cavefish.
I mean,
Translucent, I
until
guess,
the
translucent.
insides, yeah, you can see right into their insides.
Wow.
They're neat. They're like foggy white, sort of gray.
It mixes dirt with the saliva in its mouth to form a special kind of mud.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
It sounds like a
Pokemon.
wasp.
It could be
Pokemon.
both,
Okay.
yeah.
Mudsdale.
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 I've been there.
Yeah. It's a nice place. It remains asleep from birth to death as a
Correct.
result of the sedative properties of the leaves that form its diet.
Real. Something that's just asleep its entire life.
I'm saying Pokemon, but huh.
No, real.
Yeah,
How,
this one's tricky.
how's it eating if it's asleep the whole time?
Yeah, how you
Right.
fighting if it's asleep? How you put something asleep in Pokemon if it's already asleep?
It's got to be.
What's the battle strategy there? I got him. Didn't think of that one, did you, Bossman?
It's a Pokemon. Komala. Komala's the koala who is always asleep.
I was gonna say it sounds. For some reason, I was thinking of a koala.
So
This
Jones,
isn't
there's some moves you can do while you're sleeping.
Yeah. He's just always the Pokemon just
Yeah.
comes out. Okay.
From birth to death.
I have
So-
more to learn.
I guess when the new one is born, as it hatches out of the egg, your responsibility as a trainer is to stuff the leaves into its mouth so that it falls asleep.
and then palpate its throat to go down.
It's how we care for our Pokemon. All right, last one.
That's messed up.
They have been seen exploding if they are unable to pass gas after eating bad food.
It's real.
Humans.
Real.
Humans. Stop that.
Yeah.
Seagulls, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bolson pupfish.
Whoa.
Oh.
The heck?
Cool
Just-
it, bowls and pupfish.
They're also known as Mexican fish. Yeah, they just kind of.
Just explode.
I bet that is so painful too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for leading up to it.
Even
My
with
God.
fish nerves. Even with fish nerves, I'm like, don't do that, dude. All right, okay. We gotta wrap up this podcast. It's time for last week's bet. Final Fantasy VII released last week on Friday.
Heard of it.
I'm going to go to the Q&A section of Final Fantasy Remake. Actually, can someone else do that? Go to GameFAQs.com, type in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and go to the Q&A section for that. How many questions will have been answered on that portion? Jones, you bet there would be 50 questions asked and answered. Ben bet there would be 33. Damiani independently came up with the number 33. Ian, you bet 18. I bet 41. And the actual amount of answered questions is...
So wait, I go to the Q&A section?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then scroll to the bottom, and it should say all blank questions.
Ian's nearly disappeared. It's like Back to the Future over here.
50.
50, which would go straight to Jones.
Nailed it.
It says all 50 questions?
Yeah, it says
They've all got answers.
see all 50 answered questions. I don't know if that's counting
Okay.
the
Yeah, that's what we
10
did
that
last
are-
week. Yeah. No,
the
it does
10
count
that
it.
are here.
I made sure it counts those, yep. All
Okay.
50 is 50.
Yep.
You're missing one of the smuggest Joneses. This was my last
Right
chance
on the
to win a
nose,
bet.
a hole in one. It feels good.
This is my Jones.
For a
This was
big
my
number
last.
too. I bet
this
the
was
biggest.
my last chance.
I bet the biggest.
I almost had it, Jones.
Your bets, your podcast. Give it all to me.
Brings total scores to Gorgeous Gorillas 8,
Oh!
Sick
I
Owls
forgot what Gorillas said.
7,
We kicked your ass.
What?
By
It was 1
one.
point.
By one, yeah.
So it's not over yet.
Oh.
Jones is going to do bets afterward, he said. I mean, I have a proposition. I think you should join Jones's team.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm always on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Oh, man. We're going to do
talk
great,
about it.
Jones.
You're only 1 point back. I think you can win the season.
So wait,
if
are
you
we just
swap me
sick
for
owls?
Ian. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, you could rename it if you want
No,
to.
I want to make a sick owl noise.
Great. All right. So please look forward to that.
From a
audience.
sound effect perspective,
Yeah, it's the
it's a
best
good
team.
sound. I don't know about the betting potential, but
Although, wait a minute. I should take like a sixth of a point with me. Because I'm leaving
I'll leave that
I'm
to
leaving a
Jones.
winning team.
Yeah, I get that.
You know?
Should we just flatten it out?
No,
One
no.
divided by 6.
Okay.
We
Alright,
should
alright.
flatten it out.
0.17?
Flatten it out next week.
yeah,
Yeah.
But this week, we are still winning.
this week
Uh,
Brandon wins.
Yeah, I know,
right.
Jones. I know. You nailed it. You bullseyed it. I know.
We know,
Uh,
Jones.
So Jones and I are doing the torch passing podcast next
Right.
week. We're not just going to bet against each other one-on-one. This, of course, means that this week we must do War Wars. Celebration tonight. Celebrate. Don't wait too late. No. We can't stop. You can't stop. You know we're gonna do it right tonight. Hey, This feeling, music's got me feeling the need. Yeah, come on. All right, we're gonna celebrate. Music's got me feeling so free. Celebrating, feeling so free. Gonna celebrate. Yes, celebrating, feeling so free. One more time, you just got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate, celebrate and dance so free. One more time, you just got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate, celebrate and feeling so free. One more time, you just got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate, celebrate and dance so free. One more time, you just got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate, celebrate and dance so free. One more.
Or.
Okay, so who wants in on this?
Me.
Okay, Jones. Waiting in line for groceries or talking to friends who have opinions about Tiger King.
Talking to friends with opinions about Tiger King because you can do that over the phone. You don't have to be standing next to him.
Nice. Okay. Fair. Who wants in next?
I'll get next.
Okay. Aerith or Tifa?
I'll go with Aerith, sure.
Why?
I'm afraid to say?
Say it. Or is it a
Because it
spoiler?
might be too much a spoiler, yeah.
Oh, you're gonna lose Or Wars if you talk like that. You're afraid to say why you picked somebody? Okay. All right. Sabotage. Who wants it next?
Me.
All right, Ian. Washing your hands for 20 full seconds or voting for Joe Biden.
Why do I always
Why
get the
do you always
political
get
ones?
those?
God damn
Why
it.
is he
God. Voting for Joe Biden because we fucking have to, man. This country is fucked.
Michael Huber.
Yo.
Super glue or duct tape?
Dude,
Come on.
duct
Court
tape.
Why?
Duct tape has tons of uses, and I like the way it sounds when you rip it from the circle. That like noise.
Good
that,
sound.
That is
It's iconic, too.
It's
It's
an
iconic.
iconic noise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huber has won Or Wars, obviously.
It was very clear.
Yeah. Blood, that was one of the worst Or Wars performances I've ever seen.
I'm going to be losing this Or Wars for months after.
Oh yeah, that was also Ian. I feel like you could have had more justification there. You could have talked about washing your hands for 20 seconds.
I mean, both of these are necessities, frankly. I shouldn't have had to choose.
That's how Or Wars goes. You have to choose. Okay, so this is really hard. I gotta get this right before we finish Or Wars. Celebrate, I'm feeling so free.
Oh, I thought that was Ian. I thought you just had one of those on your desk.
I have two in the other room.
Celebrate and dance so free. Okay, all right, we got this. Yeah, okay. Celebration. You know we're gonna do it all right tonight. Hey, this feeling, music's got me feeling this need. Yeah, come on. All right, we're gonna celebrate one more time. Music's got me feeling so free. Celebrate and dance so free. We're gonna celebrate and dance so free. One more time, music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate and dance so free. One more time, you just got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate and dance so free. One more time, you just got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate and dance so free. One more.
Or
Wars.
There's five of those, and I bailed. That's a lack of commitment. I stopped after 2. I'm like, you know what? I can't shake the thing. This is actually, you see a guy do this in a band, and you're like, that guy sucks. And it's actually very hard to shake an egg.
For the year 2 concert where we had a band, again, I had one of those, and I was supposed to do it during one of the songs, and I'd practiced it, and it sounded really cool, and then I forgot it backstage on the night.
Damn.
Oh, no.
Damn.
It was
Can you
supposed to
grab
be in my
yours?
pocket, and it wasn't
Is yours
there.
nearby?
It's in the other room.
Other room,
okay.
yeah.
All my music stuff's in my bedroom.
Ian, do you like Pink Martini? Do you ever hear their stuff?
I'm unfamiliar.
They're a fun band. They play they play music that has instruments like that. They have like a Latin flair, but they play a lot of different genres. And I saw them live one time, and they play so many different things and so many different instruments and styles that I think they play some songs where someone's just like a guitarist is like, I'm out. I just don't play these instruments, or this was the song that guy wrote, and so I was just never involved in the. But I mean, we're here at the performance. And so, like, yeah, I feel he just grabs one of those and just like, I'm not even mic'd. It's like, but it just looks weird if I leave, or just whatever.
Right.
So
I always love it when they have to improvise, like
I'll
they're
just give the
drumming on
drummer
their
a massage right now.
acoustic guitar or something. Yeah.
That person's working way harder than I thought they were working.
Right.
20 minutes ago.
Cool.
Yeah. The person shaking the egg, props to you. You're working hard.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out to the person shaking the egg. And also, you're missing this if you're a listener. The whole bit is the group is meant to be like annoyed by how long Or Wars takes, but I felt like you were trying to support me through it and like bobbing your head, and that made it way worse for me.
I was just genuinely into it.
Yeah.
It was like it made it way worse for me. Okay, all right.
Well, and it's funny because
We did it, guys. We did it.
Yeah.
That song, I'm very familiar with that song, but I could not recognize it for the longest time at the begining.
Don't wait too late.
Yeah, and then once you got to the hook, I was like, oh, of course.
Well, so then the other thing is, we're going way behind the curtain. I used to think it was celebrate the feeling so free, but then I looked it up. It's celebrate and dancing so free, and then clearly mixed it up 1,000 times as I was trying to sing this off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
Celebrate and dance for free.
No, dance not for free.
It's not for free?
You can play Warframe for free.
That's Huber's. That's how Huber
You
talks.
can play Warframe for free.
Okay, it is now time to end the podcast. Brandon Jones, you don't get a thing because you lost Or Wars. Michael Huber, you get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. You got some shout-outs? Okay.
At least let me shout out, Kyle.
Okay, I'll listen to your shout-outs. I'll humor your shout-outs.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And after this, we got Ian and then me. I go after Ian, and then Blood, you go after me, and then Huber, you go after Blood, and then Kyle, you go last after Huber.
So I'm first?
For the round. You're first. Blood, you're after me. Huber, you're after Blood. You don't go until Blood goes. And Kyle, you're last, okay?
Got it, yep.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm focused.
Indicate that you heard him, Huber.
Acknowledge.
You just had a look on your face. So
I thought you saw the nod. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You're always in a gentle nod, Huber. There's always just your face. Your face is always nodding.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blue, Caleb Togi Crawford, L Fanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, and Jesse Blue.
Shout
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 out.
Better. We can do it again.
I love that.
No, that
can
was
do it
perfect. That was great.
It was great.
I
There
feel
wasn't
like
a ton of
I
overlap,
like
but it was.
Huber wants another. He wants
Huber
another.
wants another. You can't deny it.
If you think it's good, it's good. It's good. I'm sorry.
Well,
No, I wanna please
Jones,
you.
Too
line.
late now.
Okay.
I want to please you.
Jesse Blue.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
That was better.
That felt
Yeah,
great.
that was really good. Best we've done so far.
Okay, so Huber, you won the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Eyes video you'd like to promote. You get the final word and anything you disagreed with just popped in your head and you want to reiterate. And you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
Wait, Jones bullseyed it and he doesn't get anything?
No, he didn't win Or Wars. Or Wars supersedes any bets.
I love it.
At Michael P. Huber. Video I want to promote is... What is that?
It's disrespectful.
50. Bullseye.
So listeners, you need to know what Jones is doing. While Huber gets his time, Jones just has his bet from last week. Who knows why he kept it? He just has us on camera, is pointing at it with the smuggest face possible. Huber, please ignore that. The spotlight is yours.
Video I want to promote. So in the upcoming Huber Syndrome, upcoming. There's a current one right now where I talk about environments and houses, but the upcoming one is all about you, everyone listening and watching. It's all about your Animal Crossing houses. So it's a community-focused Animal Crossing episode. Send your Animal Crossing clips to communityq@easyallies.com.
Very clever.
Someone hype that up.
Spell Q.
Queue.
Okay.
Oh yeah, all spelled out. Community Q.
Great.
I want to get all the allies Animal Crossing houses in there as well.
Well, I was gonna say this. Not this week's Easy Update, but the next week's Easy Update was gonna be touring my island and Sophia's islands. I guess I'll just send them to you now.
I can send you a
both?
clip.
Yeah,
I can
why
make you a
not
little
both?
clip.
Could be both.
I might just do community then, and let
Yeah.
you do the.
It was exciting when you pointed at the camera and said you,
Yeah,
and now I got to look at Damiani's house.
true. Yeah.
Well,
Just-
hey, we
just
could
the
do
community.
ours for Easy Update.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All of you send me tours of your islands, Easy Allies, and then I'll throw
Cool.
them in my episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The funny thing is yeah, because I've been doing my streams as well, but I've been more focused on like the island itself than my actual house.
Just send me a short narrated video of yourself playing your island.
But I mean, like because I did when I first started, like I had like booting up the game from start, and then I had a second one, and then I'm gonna do a last one when I like kind of basically have everything sort of cemented in place, like all 10 houses in place.
What? What are you
Nice.
talking about?
You
Streams.
oh stream. I thought you
I
were
was
resetting
like,
your
houses.
island, man.
I thought you kept
Yeah.
starting over. I was like, Bloodworth,
Oh,
what?
sorry, no.
Okay.
I
Phew.
just paid off my house. Completely.
Nice.
Last
I bet
one?
that feels good.
I don't really know what you get for paying it off. I mean,
Yeah,
I know
you know
what you
what?
get, but it's
I took some sick enjoyment out of knowing I'm never gonna pay that house off.
yeah,
No interest.
Come
Like
find me, Tom.
Right.
yeah. So like
yeah.
whatever,
He
dude.
doesn't charge interest.
Yeah. Your final word, Huber.
Final word. Stay safe out there, or in there, I should say. Social distancing, stay safe, quarantine, lockdown. In the meantime, just enjoy video games. Video games have the power to distract us, to take us away. That's pretty much all I've been doing. Just spending time with my wife, watching TV, playing games, trying to exercise, trying to walk. So just stay safe, love and respect.
Okay, and now your trademark sign off.
I don't have a trademark
What?
sign off. Never. I don't have a trademark sign off. It's something different every time. That's how my brain works, Bossman. Don't put me in a box.
Canisters. I stopped after 2. I'm like, you know what? I can't shake the thing.